Owls.
Turn on Night Owls.
Greatest Hits Radio.
And now, the forerunner to Facebook, where your words tell 1,000 Instagrams. Use your phone for making that call. And get talking across the Northeast, please. Because this is Night Owls with Alan Robson.
Welcome, everybody. Hello, Alan Robson with you on the Night Owls. Where else would I be? As you know, we are 3 shows away from the glorious finale of Night Owls. So pick up your telephone, give us a call right now. We've got an awful lot to talk about. Now, of course, we're going to share with you just some of your best bits over the next few shows. However, we also want you to cogitate, it is allowed, about the dumbest thing you've ever done. And also, if you have done something dumb, what was it that you did to put it right? Were you able to rescue it? It's kind of like that thing, you know, when you trip over a curb that there's nothing there, but you still trip over it, and you do that little run, you pretend you're running instead of like looking like an idiot. I want to know what dumb stuff you've done and how you put it right. Or just tell me the dumb stuff. I'll be quite happy with that. A lot to talk about, including the stuff that you've got up to over the years. And if we can find anybody who's got a bus, it would be an absolute miracle. And I know I'm asking a lot, and I know it's an expensive commodity, and I'm asking it because they don't have the money. We would just love it if somebody somewhere could... Oh, hang on a second. I'm being waved at by Nicola next door. Hang on, let's just quickly go across there. Nicola, what's up? What's happened?
Yeah, we've had Gary on from Nightingale's Coaches at Anfield Plain, who has donated free transport.
What?
He's got coaches and wheelchair accessible vans as well.
Gary, thank you so much, mate. Honestly, it will rock their world. Thank you so much. How great is that? And you guys never let anybody down, but sometimes you don't have to be persuaded to call in. This guy called in for the first time after 32 years.
It was fantastic seeing somebody after 32 years.
Unbelievable.
And he says to us, it was only yesterday, he said, do you remember when you wanted to go on Night Owls? So we took you up and you sat in for the show and you met the Flash and Blade, and you come back with all these stories about a woman called Catherine who was on the switchboard. And he says, did you ever ring the show? And I says, nah. I says, I was always trying to ring in and do win competitions, but I never had the guts to do it.
Right.
He says, I dare you. And I says, well, where's he now? And he says, he's still doing it.
Of course.
I says, never. So I came...
I'm just doing it better now.
But I was just lying in bed there and I thought, 32 years later, will I just listen?
And we're so glad that you do. And don't forget, we will be on to greater things, as you know. But sometimes on Night Owls, things go in a direction that we would never expect, and nor would we ever want. But your dad was a child abuser and a sexual assaulter and a predator who preyed on young people, you included. He's dead. He was a scumbag. He's now a dead scumbag. And I can understand you having a jumble of emotions, but on behalf of everybody else, we're glad that our children aren't at risk anymore.
Well, that's nice.
I'm not sure it's nice,
well,
but it's honest.
It's honest and it's positive.
Keep your chin up, down. You'll get through it. You got to start again now. Yes, there's a vacuum. That vacuum, instead of being filled with something unpleasant, nasty, I wonder when he's going to get out eventually.
Well,
that's never going to happen.
No, not now.
And then, of course, there is the cavalry that is the Night Owls.
I've took one, and I'm not stopping, because I don't want to face reality anymore. You phoned somebody now. I know.
I haven't phoned anybody. I'm sitting
somebody.
here. I'm sitting here talking to you right now.
Yeah.
I want you to stop doing anything negative. And why can't you?
It's too late, Alan, man.
No, it's not. It's never too late. It's never too
Too
late.
late for me.
It's not.
It's too late for me to try and put things right with my family. I know it is.
Right.
To put things right with everybody, not just family, everybody.
Right.
I've let everybody down, so I might as well just,
But you're too precious for that. People love you.
I wish I was.
There's people here that's sending texts crying because they love you so much and they don't want you to hurt yourself.
Alan, it's too late. I'm doing it.
Don't even think about it. Don't think about it. Don't think about
Alan,
it. Do not do
Alan,
it. Don't do
You're
it.
too late. Alan,
Don't do
you're
it.
too late. Alan, you're too late. I'm sorry, but you're too late. I'm sorry, Alan. I didn't mean to let you down, but it's too late.
Don't let me down then. You got a choice. You got a choice. You don't have to let me down.
Alan.
You don't have to let me down.
I'm sorry, Alan. I'm very sorry. But most of all, I'm sorry to my family. I'm sorry for letting them down.
You haven't let anybody
I'm sorry
down.
for
You haven't let
everybody.
You haven't let anybody down except yourself.
Yeah.
And that's the worst person to hurt. Because you're already hurting enough. Why hurt yourself more?
I'm hurting inside, and people don't realise that. I've been hurting inside for years and years and years. But nobody's ever listened, so why should I listen to them?
Well, you shouldn't listen to them. You should listen to people who care for you, like me.
Alan, I'm telling you what, I'm doing it. Sorry.
Well, why did you ring me? Why did you?
They're not getting in.
Why did you call? Who can't get in?
They're not getting in your mind.
Who can't get in? Who are you talking about?
You phoned somebody. It's too late, Alan. I've took them.
Has your family arrived? Have they?
No, you phoned somebody. I know you have.
I haven't. I've been sitting here talking to you for the last half hour.
You phoned somebody. I know you have. Alan, I'm sorry, but it's too late. I've took them. Who is it? It's the police, isn't it? Who is it?
Right, they're there. We're going to leave it there for the time being. And it wasn't too late. He's still with us. 0191 488 3188. What are you going to be talking about tonight? Maybe you got a poem about night owls. You never know.
Sunday to Thursday, my nights are all sorted. Got my coffee on and range of biscuits all sorted. Night owls on and ready to listen. All the callers have passed over or some are just missing. What night brings, we will never know. Most callers are friends or some deliberate foe. Tucked up in bed or on night shift, we rely on it to give us a lift. What other show offers you to sing your la-la-las for people to listen? But when you hang up, you just think you'll glisten. Long may it continue, and just remember, nothing rhymes with orange.
And night owls do have a habit of telling me absolutely everything. Do you still have your nipples in the box?
Yes, I can't find them, but you see, I've got a little cupboard under my stairs, and it's my junk cupboard, so I would have to get everything else to find them.
So your nipples is in the cupboard under the stairs?
Yes.
Excellent, as long as we know. Now, people going through tough things, and that's what you guys do, and when I go through bad times, you're with me, and vice versa. And I heard a call about somebody who had a stroke, and what a call.
This is how great this show is. When she was in the hospital, and she had just come around from having a stroke, and the first thing she says to us, "What happened to that lass on Night Owls?"
Oh, that's sweet. How about that? She has a stroke in the middle of a special, and the first thing she says when the nurse wakes her up is, "What happened to that lass in the ghost hunt?" Brilliant. Really funny.
The ghost hunt, she had a stroke, right? Just finished, actually. And,
what a shame.
And as I say, the nurse said to us, well, she says, "There's proof there's nothing wrong with her brain."
And some of your earliest memories.
My mum absolutely loves you, and she used to come on the show all the time when I was a bed.
That's great.
And when I was when I was driving back, I heard you say about your earliest memories of sweets and everything. It got me thinking. Not my earliest memory of sweets, but one of my earliest memories was actually meeting you in Metroland when I was about, I want to say 5 or 6, and my mum was there, and I had a signed Night Owl little poster thing.
How about that? And of course, you lot coming to the rescue is nothing rare.
What exactly is the problem with this lady?
I think it's something to do. I'm not quite sure. I think it's some blood disorder or something.
Blood disorder, but essentially, if she doesn't get a wheelchair, she's stuck in the house.
I got a phone call from Michelle last night, and we got one.
Wonderful.
And I just want to say a big, big thank you on behalf of this lady to John and his wife in Leamington. I went up and picked it up tonight.
Fantastic.
And this guy himself has obviously got health problems.
Yes.
But he's got a big enough heart to think of other people.
Yeah, he's a good man, John.
And we got the wheelchair. He didn't want anything for it, so I took a bunch of flowers up for his wife.
That's nice.
And I took 3 lucky dips up in the hope that the win. I said, I hope he's a millionaire by Saturday.
Yeah, he'll be in Hawaii by Sunday. If that's the case, he'll be away.
Well, when I said that, he was still thinking of somebody else, because he said, well, if I do that, if I become a millionaire, he said, I'll be back on the Night House and I'll buy this lady an electric wheelchair.
Oh, wow. Well, there you go. Everybody wins.
Yeah, they're lovely people.
Yeah, they're good
I just
fun.
want to say a big thank you to them. And that when this wheelchair is finished with, we will get it back to Night House.
And we'll recycle it.
Else
Absolutely.
from it.
Happy to do that.
A big thank you to Night House and a big thank you to John and his wife.
I think you should be on the New Year's Honours list, actually.
Well, it's lovely of you to say so. Thank you, John.
On the programme, you saw the highs, you saw the lows, and you do have a very, very hard job, I think. You've got to deal with so many people and so many different situations. And I can remember all the years of listening to Night Owls, how you've dealt with them, and you do a tremendous job.
Right, as I say, nice of you to say, John. Thank you.
When I watched you tonight, and I'm sure thousands and thousands of other people did, we saw you at your true self, and it was fantastic to watch.
Now, if you listen to the show, you deserve a stiff drink, frankly, and it's exactly what some of you do.
It'd just be quite good listening in the house, listening to the radio again. Just brings back good memories from when I was a little bit younger, and
Cool
listening
stuff.
to you and falling asleep with a ghetto blaster next to me and stuff like that. It's just been great. It's actually nice to talk to you. Thank you for...
I know,
Thank you.
thanks for coming back. Richard, what have you been doing down there in Wales, then?
Just working hard, to be quite honest. Just nice to hear you're still going, mate. You still sound the same, exactly the same. I used to live in a children's home, to be honest, and the members of the staff used to, obviously, used to get up in the morning. How did you fall asleep, Richard, with that ghetto blaster next to you? Yeah, but nobody's going to celebrate talking to you. You've got no idea. I used to listen to you when I was like 12, 13, 14, going up. Every night, man. Thank you so much for letting me come through and speak to you, mate. I just appreciate it. Thank you. Have a good night, my friend.
Yeah, have a whiskey. Deserves it. And we're just the last clip for now, because we want you talking live on 01914 3188. Night Owls wouldn't be Night Owls. Yes, there's lots of cool stuff for people getting help and what have you. It's just you never know what you're going to get. Like the man who decided to do DIY testicle surgery on himself.
She was trying to cut the stitch.
Oh, my goodness.
In my right one. Well, of course, and it just didn't work because the hairs were growing back. Well, because beforehand I was shaved.
Sure.
And then the hairs were growing back. So she says, and I was hitting the ceiling by then. She says, I just can't do this. The young girl who was a practice nurse was beside herself, right?
Yeah.
I said, so what am I going to do? She says, you'll have to take warm baths and just try and prise the right one between your two thumbs. And then to get the stitch out. And then after about a week or so of these warm baths, it eventually happened. And then I put a stitch in a little sample bottle. When I went back to work, I showed everybody at work, so it was something to go through that,
But blimey, you shouldn't have had to do your own surgery at the end.
Well, they couldn't do it with a scalpel. You know what I mean?
There you go. Pick up your telephone, give us a ring. 0191488 3188. Get to those phones. Alan Robson's Night Owls, Greatest Hits Radio Northeast. Let's get cracking. Play a trumpet or something.
Love it.
Light it up, Ken.
Yay.
There we go. This is an amazing and fascinating thing. It's called Chimney Mill. Chimney Mill, any ideas why, Ken?
Because
it's obviously a windmill.
It's obviously a windmill, yeah. Why chimney though? Because it looks like a chimney?
No, well, because while it was grinding stuff out back in the day,
right.
You got to remember there's no houses.
No.
That's the town moor there.
That way, yeah.
Because tonight we're doing an amazing ghost hunt. Hollywood McShane behind the camera. Kenny's with me. Last week we did a grizzly trail. This week we're doing a grizzly trail and a ghost hunt simultaneously if we possibly can. The wind is horrifically cold. The weather's claggy. We're already wet, so we might as well get wetter for you. And we're doing the absolute top of Newcastle, from Jesmond down to the bit we finished last week. So, Chimney Mill, from a distance, everybody saw the mist, or the rain's coming heavy now, the mist flying in.
Yeah.
And all of the ground grain would go up into the sky, and it looked like smoke from a distance. I'm going to have to move your microphone immediately.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not helping. Hang on. There you go. That'll tickle, but put up with it.
I'm fine.
So let's tell you the story, because there's an amazing tale right here. If you come along a little bit. Now this was built in, I believe, 1785, the first windmill. It was the very first windmill in Britain to have 5 sails.
Oh, right.
Most windmills only have 4 sails. Now, the dates, lots of dates to remember. In the 1600s, it was the time of the witches.
Yeah.
However, 100 years after that, 1785, a group set out here. This wasn't here, remember?
Yeah.
Down yonder, there was a number of little hovels on the outskirts of Newcastle city centre, which is down that way. And a group of witches gathered together 100 years later than the big witch situation.
Right.
And they called themselves the Seven Sisters. And it was said that they did black magic rituals, human sacrifice, and all that kind of stuff. However, they existed, there's history of them, they died out, story over. Fast forward to 1913, just before the war, at the back of this building, there were 5 or 6 small buildings, sheds, I suppose. They were bought by a group of 7 women, and they amalgamated them. They turned them into one big place where they all lived. They then began to call themselves the Seven Sisters, named after the witches who were originally here. Now, whether these women were real witches or whether they weren't, it's hard to tell, because how would you know? But locals said that a few dogs were going missing. A couple of kids nearby had gone, and they started to talk about the strange women. However, with the outbreak of World War I in 1914, a lot of people called up. People's heads weren't on what they were up to. They were more worrying about their friends and their family, and it was a horrific time. The Great War, the most bloody war in history up until that point. So, all of a sudden, there were the odd deaths surrounding about. People found drained of blood. Few children went missing. And a lot of people were saying, I can't understand it. It's wartime, but we're not exactly being bombed or picked on. Stand behind the heads just to get out of that way. So, the Seven Sisters. Around those buildings, there are other buildings. And from those buildings, people were looking into the grassy area that those little, you'd class them as sheds probably.
Yeah.
Well, in the middle there was a grassy area, but people who lived in a couple of the houses nearby could overlook and see into the grassy area. and they saw them killing animals. And
Right.
at first they thought it must be a lamb for meat.
Yeah.
It was actually dogs. They were doing all kinds of dark satanic rituals, essentially. Now, remember, they were there from 1913. 10 years of them doing what they did. They were there for 10 years, just round the back. And we can't go in because it's private land now, but round the back, not so much here, but right round the back of it. There was, if you looked at, light up the back area, you see where there's new houses there, you see over the fence.
Yeah.
But that's where we're talking about, just at the back of this windmill. And if you think 10 years of whatever they did, but on one occasion, they went and visited Newcastle Central Station. And when they were in the Central Station, they saw a little boy in grey shorts and a school blazer get off a train. Now, this young lad, his name was either McConaughey or McConnell.
Right.
2 stories, 2 threads, same story, but the name they're unsure of. This little boy got off the train. He'd been put on the train in London, where he went to boarding school, and his parents lived in Edinburgh. So he got off one stop early.
Right.
He got off at Newcastle. And one of the women came up to him and said, "What's the matter, son? Are you lost?" "Yes, I'm supposed to meet my mum." "Your mum's asked me to collect you. Come with me."
Right.
Walked him up from the Central Station, right through the town, to the little area at the back. Now, on that occasion, instead of leaving it till as late as this, when it was really dark, to go into the back area to do their thing, they went out, and it was about 5:30, 6 o'clock, because they were so excited to have, instead of a dog or a cat, a young boy. So the young boy was taken into the grassy area at the back, where they began chanting and...
Alan Robson's Night Owls.
The phone-in that gets you talking.
Greatest Hits Radio.
And keep the calls coming. We will try and get as many of you on the show as possible. We know in just one night it is very, very difficult, but we will continue to try and do our best. Louise starts us off. She is in South Shields. Hello, Louise.
Hi, Alan. I've looked forward to this all week.
Hooray! Well, thank you very much. What are you talking about then, Lou?
It's just about the Night Owls memories of when I was growing up, listening to you all the way through my life.
Right, that's great. How did it first begin for you then?
Well, it was about the I'm the girl whose mum's waters broke, and through listening to you, it's that girl again.
That's great.
So basically, it's just been a case of you've always been on a night time, even through like the school years. You were always on in the background. Just the voice of the North, basically. You know.
Thank you.
I remember I used to lie there and listen to the Blade Runner Super Quiz, and I used to be sitting there going, right, what's the answer? I know this. Knowing full well I had school the next day, but I'm just sitting up listening and answering the questions and everything. I just totally enjoyed that. I will miss that. I have missed things like that.
Sure.
And there was also the banter that you had with Wayne. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, special. It's very rare you get a chemistry like that. Wayne's a superstar.
Yeah.
And what we're going to do over the next couple of weeks, we're going to dig out some of the highlights of that as well. So make sure you listen to the last two, and
I'll
hear a
definitely
bit
be
more
listening
of
to
that.
that.
Excellent.
Yeah, you know, Alan, I always listen to you, so you know, I am out there.
That's great. Hey, thank you.
There's lots of my family who listen. I mean, my dad's just been saying he's going up to listen now, and that's him going to bed. And I've talked my mum to listen. She's busy watching a film or something like that, but she's going to listen. I says, I'm on tonight, so you've got to listen, you know. So
that's the good thing.
So
That's the joy of it, though. The joy is that it's not just something you listen to; it's something you're on. You know, that's the thing. Yeah.
Well, that's another thing. Obviously, when I was younger, I used to think, one day I might end up on the show, and it's taken us about 30 odd years, and here I am. I'm on the show. So I'm really, really pleased I have, and obviously with you now sort of finishing it, I'm pleased I have had a chance to take part in it. So it's been It's been really good.
Well, that's good.
I've really enjoyed coming on and talking to you.
Well, we're finishing this part of it, but in the fullness of time, we'll be talking again, and just in a different place, in a different way.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
how it's going to be. So we'll
It's
be
all
back.
part of the journey. It's all part of the journey, Alex.
It is precisely that. It's not necessarily the good bit, but it's a bit of it. That's true. So here.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we've all got a journey that we follow. So Night Owls is doing the exact same thing. So it's all good, isn't it?
Absolutely. Hey, well, thank you, Louise. Bless you, darling.
No problem. Thanks
Thanks
Alan.
for calling. Take care. Bye-bye. Want to say a big thank you to a variety of people. Now, this is kind of typical of Night Owls. First of all, I get made, and I mean made, an amazing kind of punk hat here with the green man on it. How pagan do you get? I actually sent in this fabulous hat, and a card came with it with a silver little charm attached, and it says, "Hi Alan, I hope you like the hat. I love making them, and I'm inspired by nature, legends, and all things curious and odd. I love the fact that the green man's on there, and there's an owl kind of peeking over the top. I love the program and the crazy things you do. Keep up the good work. Karen Poppy Little." So, Karen, thank you very much for that. Sorry You're Going came from Barry and Julie Evans. This is then the end of another chapter, but not the story. We'll be with you wherever you go. Thank you for that. Jean has sent in a Christmas card, which is going to be the most random thing, but we're grateful because she popped in earlier. And thank you for being all kinds of amazing, which is lovely. No words, 100 wouldn't be enough. Lovan Cumson. And thank you very much. But let's get some more of you on. Sandra's with us. Hello, Sandra, in Whitley Bay.
Hi. Hi, Alan.
Hello, love. What are you talking about tonight?
Right. I watch a lot of programs about UFOs.
Oh, right, yes.
And I'm really fascinated by them. And there was a program on Quest the other night, and it was called Alien Encounters Declassified.
Right.
Right. And it was the most fascinating and a bit scary program that I've watched.
Why? Why were you frightened by it?
Well, scared a little bit.
Yeah.
It was just so realistic. It was in America, right? And they talked to loads of people because pilots and people like that are coming forward now with information.
Yes.
Which they wouldn't do before. And sort of important people as well.
Right.
And it was about people seeing UFOs, abductions and operations. And people talked about what happened to them.
Yes.
And it was just so real. I mean, maybe some of them made it up. I don't know. But it honestly really brought it home to us.
Well, I think the vast majority of them are either far-fetched or made up. I think the vast majority. However, I did a series of shows in what I call the Alien Jesus story, because it was a mixture of aliens and religious stories, because they do actually mix incredibly well. And I showed all of the history and all of the artifacts that exist around the world that nobody can explain. There's a lump of metal stuck in the earth in India, and it goes into the earth about 30 feet, and it sticks out about 30 feet the other way, and nobody can tell you what the metal is. It's not a metal that exists on Earth. So where did it come from? We visited Peru and we flew over the Nazca lines, and while I was there, I visited a temple that has on the wall an Inca warrior in a spaceship. The only thing it can be is a spaceship. And this was like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years old. How is that possible? As I say, those things, if you're interested, are on Robson's World, my website. But the thing that's interesting about it is we did one show where we only talked to people who'd been abducted, but only the ones who could prove it by either having implants put in their body that had to be removed or that had been witnessed by other people that saw them being abducted. So when you do that and you actually hear people say, this is what's happened to me, and you put yourself in their headspace just for a second, it's an amazing It's an amazing thing. And there's so many. And remember, you only need one of them to be true. Just one of them. So, no, I'm afraid I've got a foot in that camp too. I do believe in the fact that there must be life elsewhere because there just must be.
Different people have different opinions
as
to why they're here, if they're here.
Uh-huh. What's yours?
I mean,
what do you think?
Well, like I say, I've just got all the bits of stuff I've seen on the TV.
Right.
I think maybe, probably not a good idea, but I think maybe this planet, they know is going to end. So maybe they're trying to create people from us for another planet.
Oh, blimey.
I know, it's pretty horrible, isn't it?
Yeah, I was going to say, well, by the way, thanks for that. We're all going to die, everybody. That's a nice positive way.
Or it could be, a lot of people think it's that their planet is dying, or that, they need to renew the people on it.
Yeah.
So they're using our DNA.
Right.
What do you think, Alan?
I kind of view it the other way around. I think that if you look at, and this, again, it's what the whole series that we made was about. If you look back into our distant history, I'm not talking the last 1,000 years, I'm talking pre-biblical history, and you look at all the writings, they all talk about bright lights in the sky and strange creatures coming down from heaven or the sky. You can really ally a lot of those stories with alien intervention. So maybe back in our long distant past, aliens came here and helped create us, and maybe we come from them, and maybe they're just keeping an eye on them, So there's any number. I try and prove that in the various shows that we did. I think we did 5 Alien Jesus shows.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, some of them. Yeah.
Yeah, and we try our best to give what we can prove, because you see, if you can prove there's an image of a spaceship on a wall, and then we took a photo of it and we put it out on one of our galleries. If we can show people, say, well, if this isn't a spaceship, what the hell is it? And there's one of the other famous Nazca lanes. These are things that are like 300 yards long and 300 yards wide. And they're made so you can't see them while you're walking, but you've got to be, up in the sky. I mean, who else would bother to do something like that? But there's one of them that looks like a spaceman in a spacesuit. And
waving or pointing to the sky.
There you go. You're already there. Well, hey, be interested. We'll see what everybody else says as well. We get a few of you on about that.
One other thing. Well, I'm not sure I believe in Jesus, but all the Jesus thing about the light in the sky and everything, the star.
Yes.
I mean, who knows?
Well, because you see, if it was a planet, if it was a star that was really hovering above, because of the way that gravity works, Earth would have been destroyed, right? So it can't be a star. If it can't be a star, what is there that can travel and then stop static above a small village?
Yeah.
Well, it's got to be something that flies, hasn't it? You'd think.
If it happened.
Right. There you go.
I think you're a bit, like me, skeptical.
Well, you've got to be, really, in this day and age. But the truth is, we'll never know. But we can cogitate, and that's what we like cogitating on this show.
Yeah, I'll try and look on the bright side.
Absolutely. Thank you, Sandra. Let's just hope if it's going to happen, let it happen in 500 million years' time, because we need a bit more time, don't we? There you go. Anyway, thank you very much. Cheers, Sandra.
Right, bye.
Bye-bye. There you go. 0191 488 3188. Scott, or West Scott, it says. Could be Scott West. I can't believe that other local stations isn't snapping you up. This is your gig, and it'll always be. We need the nightly show back here, Sam. It'd be lovely to think so. Thank you kindly. David has sent this one in. I'm really going to miss you. You've kept us cheered up throughout the years. Going to be a massive miss. Hope you come back very soon. You're amazing. Listen to you since the days of Wayne, David Johnson. Thank you. And I love this. It's from our trusty taxi driver, Tony. Tough times never last, but tough people do. Bless you. Thank you for that. Let us crack on. We have Paul, and he's in South Shields. Hello, Paul.
Hello, Alan, my friend. How are you?
Man, where have you been? I missed you, Paul.
I've missed you as well, Bonnie lad. But let's explain to you, the last time I was talking to you, I've got this crazy job where I'll meet myself down the other way, getting up in the morning, you know.
Hey, to have a job is a great thing, and that's your adventure, and you got to do the best for it. I don't blame you, man. Don't blame you.
Oh, I've had some adventures indeed. But just going back over the years, man, all the great laughs we've had, you know, the quiz nights and the crazy nights, as you know, where
absolutely
you used to think, what the hell are they going to do this time?
I'll never forget, and I wonder if you can remember, Peepoo. This was a worm that came out of your penis, if you were wondering. But it could only happen here. But yeah, happy memories, Paul. Thank you, man.
I think the guy with the plunger one was a good one as well, wasn't it? We couldn't stop laughing at that one, could we?
That's great. Tremendous.
And then your crazy road shows as well.
Yeah.
Standing in the town while getting soaked.
And do you remember that? This is probably the wettest night ever. This was like, would have given Noah a fright this night. At the town moor, in front of the stage, it was about a foot deep of water, and yet it was full of people, all getting soaked or water going over the top of their wellies. I remember when I got home as well, I was completely covered in clots. And yet we did about 2.5 hours of dancing about in the rain, and nobody gave a monkeys.
We never felt it.
Absolutely. Happy days were happy days.
Indeed. I'll just launch into something. Do you know what it is? It's a strange coincidence. I've been moving stuff around in the house.
Right.
And I came across a huge ring binder folder, one of the cardboard folders, and another thing all full of the crap that I used to gather together to come on with, you know.
Oh, brilliant.
So I've raked around and I've getting a couple of bits just for old time's sake.
Oh, please, let's do it.
Back to what we used to do.
Yeah, for sure.
A cricket chirping can tell the temperature outside, counting how many times a cricket chirps in 15 seconds, and then adding 40 to that number will approximately tell you what temperature it is in Fahrenheit. That's place too short for that crap.
That's brilliant.
And fried spiders apparently taste like nuts. Not that I want to try that either.
No, I've eaten a water spider when we did Ted's story in the jungle. That was not well. It was nuts, but not in flavour. That's for sure.
Some church bulletin bloopers.
Come on.
Right. This being Easter Sunday, talk about topical, we'll ask Mrs. Johnson to come forward and lay an egg at the altar. The service will close with little drops of water. One of the ladies will start quietly, and the rest of the congregation will join in. And for, was it potluck supper, prayer and medication to follow. Right, what we got? Old wives' tales and beliefs.
Right.
Bad luck to pick up a coin if it's tail side up. Good luck comes if it's heads up. And to cure a cough, take a hair from the coughing person's head, put it between 2 slices of buttered bread, feed it to a dog, and say, "Eat well, you hound, you may be sick, and I be sound."
Wow.
And apparently, cows lifting their tails is a sure sign that rain's coming. I think there's more than rain coming if they're lifting their tails.
You'll get wet one way or another.
When you just... and apparently, I just read this on Facebook.
Yeah.
When you go to the loo, you know, and your sphincter apparently makes or mimes the word poop when you poop. If you think about it.
I don't want anybody to send in anything remotely like that, please.
No.
Because normally
right,
when you or anyone else says anything like that, I get like 50 clips.
Right, I'm going to finish off with a joke, my friend.
Come on, then. Thank you, Paul.
Here we go. It's an oldie but a goodie. A farmer goes out in his field one morning only to find all his cows are frozen solid. As far as the eyes can see, cows are motionless like statues. It had been a bitterly cold night, but he never thought anything like this would happen. The realisation of the situation then dawned on him with his entire livestock gone. How would he make ends meet? How would he feed his wife and kids? How would he pay his mortgage? He sat with his head in his hands trying to come to terms with his impending poverty. Just then, an elderly woman walked by. "What's the matter?" asked the old lady. The farmer gestured towards the frozen cows and explained his predicament. Without hesitation, she smiled, began to rub one of the cow's noses. After a few seconds, it began to twitch and was soon back to normal, chewing the cud. One by one, she went round and defrosted all the cows until the whole field was full of healthy animals. The farmer was delighted and asked the woman what she wanted as a repayment. She declined his offer and walked off across the field. Passerby, who had witnessed the whole thing, approached the farmer. "You know who that was, don't you?" asked the passerby. "No," the farmer. "Who?" "That was Thor, I heard."
Oh, boom. Classic. Thank you, Paul. Great to talk to you, man. Love the family.
Cheers,
Thanks, man. Bye-bye. Oh, there you go. Paul from South Shields, who was a staunch. Oh, he was a staunch, him. Now, I thought we'd just chuck another thing into the pot as well tonight. If every song ever written was about something embarrassing that your partner or a member of your family does, what would the songs be called? Right? If every song ever written was about embarrassing things that your partner or a member of your family does, what would they be called? That's the challenge. I've got a couple of examples for you. Take his bad breath away. Bit of Berlin there. Bonnie Taylor, it's a fart ache. Loves me, hates my dog. A little spit more. And I came up with this one as well. His feet are smelling chronic. Can you come up with a song that sums up either what your partner or a member of your family does that does your head in? I want all of those. Screamer, she's a bloody screamer. So we want all that kind of stuff. Have a think, and having thunk, send them, text them, tweet them, give us a ring, pass them on, because you can ring me to get on air, 0191 488 3188, or just WhatsApp us, whatever you want us to say, and we'll say it for you. 07863 431 837. Get cracking. A lot of people to get on. Let's get another one. Kathy Hunt is with us from Crook. Hello, Kathy.
Hello there.
Hello, love. What can we do for you tonight?
Well, I just wanted to talk about an amazing guy called Jack Vincent, who has started a group called Down to Ukraine, helping Ukrainians. I know it's a little bit sad after the nice jokey fellow who's just saying.
No, don't worry about it. So tell me, what's he up to?
Well, he's up to all kinds. He's a real life action man, to be fair. Good guy. He organised the first trip, going over in vans, taking clothing, etc., etc.
Right.
And when I found out he was going, I asked if I could go along. Sadly, I got COVID and I wasn't able to take that trip.
Right.
Anyway, Jack came back and he had some stories to tell about what he'd witnessed, and this was very, very early on in the beginning of the conflict. And as we all know, things have got far, far worse since then.
Sure.
So I asked if there was anything we could do to help, and what was next on the agenda. And I do not. This man is about 1 million miles an hour. Keeping up with him is hard work. So I'm actually a county councillor. So myself and a fellow councillor, Joanne Howie, and a lady from a project called the Bluebell Project, which is doing things with disability in a church in Bishop Auckland.
Right.
We flew in. Jack and his partner had driven over, taken aid, medical aid that time.
Right.
And we flew into Poland to meet him.
Brilliant.
So, cutting a very long story short, we ended up in a lovely little place called Stary Krakow, where 3 Polish farmers have opened up a house to house some refugees.
Wow.
We'd gotten quite a substantial amount of money, the girls, and we took that in to give them a little bit of something.
Right.
So on the way to there, we got a train from Krakow to Warsaw, and everything just seemed to be running normally, sitting on the train, lovely. Got off at the train station, and that was where it began, really. Seeing mums with children in pushchairs, with bags for life. In this beautiful cosmopolitan city, you walk outside and there's a massive marquee feeding people and giving them a hot drink before they get sent to wherever they're going to be sent to. Volunteers all over the place. Then we drove, as I say, to this place called Story Krakow. And for all its sadness, was a breath of fresh air. These Polish farmers had turned this house into 3 different houses. So Jack was very wise, and I think the reason he wanted the girls to go along is he sent the women in to talk to the women.
Right.
And we met these women, and it was extremely emotional. They were frightened. The children were terrified of us because we were strangers and didn't know what we were there for. And we chatted about what was going on. They showed us pictures. We showed them pictures of our family and pictures of their home, what was, and what pictures of what their homes are no longer. It was horrendous. And after we got over the sadness, we all started to have a chat, as girls do, you know, and we talked about how gorgeous their president was, and we've got Boris Johnson. And then we had a giggle about that, and we giggled about them men in uniform, and the atmosphere changed, and it was really, really nice. It was just girls sitting having a coffee, but then the phone would ping, and then that's when, for me, the realisation hit, and the whole mood in the room would change because they were waiting to see whether their husbands had been shot or not. It was very, very emotional. And to be fair, we held it together while we were there. It was only when we got home that I sort of had a good cry.
It's just what I think people see it, and we're detached from it, and yet it's just the same as if suddenly you had to leave your house this afternoon with whatever you can carry and not a thing else, and you maybe will never see it again, and you and every single person you know will be scattered. If you survive, you'll be scattered across the planet. And that's what's happened. And it's weird you should be in Krakow because obviously you're not very far away from Auschwitz, for heaven's sake.
Yeah.
Blimey. So the parallel is absolutely there. And it's certainly not been lost on the Polish people who, I think, have because of their proximity, had no choice but to be absolutely involved in everything to do with this crisis.
Yeah, 100%. And I have to say they've stepped up to the job amazingly well.
Yeah.
But one of the things that did come out of our visit with the ladies was, you know, a lot of these refugees don't want to come as far as England. They want to stay as close to their home as they can because, as I say, their husbands are right there.
And they also are hoping at some point to be able to go back and rebuild their lives that's been so necessarily disrupted.
Absolutely. And so it was, so the drive, we did 1,400 miles in 3 days on very little sleep, going from one place to the other. So on the drive on the way back to Krakow Airport, we were coming up with ways of which we thought we could help. And we met an amazing, inspirational young woman called Victoria, who she was Ukrainian. She'd left her own family in Ukraine and come with some refugees to Poland, and she was interpreting because they speak Ukrainian or Russian. They don't speak Polish. They don't speak English. You know, they've got. So one of the ideas we've come up with online tutoring.
Right.
So don't get me wrong, this is part of the reason I've come on here tonight.
Right.
What we're looking for. So as being a county councillor, we went straight back to Durham County Council and asked if they could assist.
Right.
And they are giving us some laptops. We're going back out again at the end of the month.
Brilliant.
Not so much driving this time. We're flying into Gdansk and then going to Stary Krakow.
Right.
And we're taking some laptops. And the idea is via Teams or whatever else, we're going to give them some language tutoring to help them go on. Now, I have to explain that these guys not only have set up these homes for these people, but they've got jobs. Some of the women have got jobs in the village.
Great.
The children are going to school. So language tuition would be, it is essential for them, really.
How can we help, Kathy?
Anyone who has any language experience to get in touch with us, because, and once we are taking the laptops, DCC have given us the laptops.
Right.
We are taking them out, and we want to get that up and running. Jack and his group through Durham to Ukraine are still taking donations of any kind.
Is there a website that we can head towards, Kathy?
It's on Facebook, Durham to Ukraine. If you go to that on Facebook,
Durham to Ukraine. Gotcha.
Yeah. And a bigger project that we're hoping to pull off is we've spoken to Durham County Council about twinning with Starry Krakow.
Right.
That could take some time. So we're also hoping that in the meantime they might adopt them and help, because the idea is to integrate these people into the village. Then more Ukrainians can come into them homes.
Right.
The guys there are wanting to build some what they call trailers. We, started caravans so they can house more and build their own little communities. Wow. And I have 4 girls and I have grandchildren. And when I looked at these young women sitting, all I could see was my girls. I would pray with all my heart that people would help them. And
well, I'm sure that's a given, Kathy. So Durham to Ukraine on Facebook is what people should look for. If anybody has any language skills, language abilities, and you're willing to get involved, and I hope you do, I hope you can. If so, they should get in touch. If they get in touch with us, that's great. Can they get directly to you, Kathy, any which way?
Yes, they can. My email address is kathy.hunt.
Right.
Kathy. At Durham.
Got it.
.gov.uk.
.gov.uk. Wonderful. Kathy, love to you. Thank you for all you're doing, and to everybody else involved with this. Everybody should do whatever they can, because this is a horrific situation. Thank you so much, Kathy. All the best to you. Hope it does well.
Thank you so much for your time. Thank you.
Bye-bye. How about that? Amazing. Well done, Durham County Councillor. Getting stuff done. I absolutely approve. 01914 888 3188. Got a few more daft songs about embarrassing things that you or your partner does. Slaps my pussycat. Mrs. Zuma sent that one in, oh dear. Slaps my pussycat. Whoa. With him, it's porn again. Oh dear. Nice one. A hunker burning toast. Catherine's husband can't cook. Down at the pub. Yeah, he's always down the pub. Cannabis is on his list, says Marie. Itchy Tool Park. It wasn't actually park. It rhymed more with Rick, but there you go. Instead of Gino by Dexys, Wino, that's his wife, drinking all over the world. Trump up the jam. Oh, dear. He's got skids in his underpants. Whoa. If you can do better, just do better. While I talk to a star coming out at night. Leo Sayer talking to me about weird fans. Weird fan stories. Everybody that's been in the business 5 minutes has a weird fan story. What is the Leo Sayer weird fan story?
Oh, I had a weird one. I bought a house in the country and I had a girl that came round. She sort of ran away from her parents. I managed to get her back there, actually. Right. And she camped. She made a tent. And one day I looked down in the garden and she's camping in the garden. I mean, what you doing here? I used to see her at my studio every day. She'd be waiting for me to come into my studio. I had a studio in North London.
Right.
And she'd be like, I'll say, you should be at school. And then, one of her school masters came down. He said, now you've got to tell her to go back to school. So I did manage to straighten her out and get her back to school. And I'm very proud of that. Right. I turned a manic fan into a good kid. And she came to the show. The last time we did the Once in a Lifetime, she said, it's me. And I said, hey, it's Claire. Oh my God, look at you. She said, yes, I'm working in property surveying now. And I'm this and I thought, isn't that good? So, wow. Manic fans can turn out to be normal people.
ritualistic ceremonial devices. And then they took the afami, which is a curved dagger, and they went to the child across the chest, cut him down to the bone. The child screams, everybody around runs to the window to look, and they see this woman, the child's still wriggling and contorting, and they put the hand into the chest, and they physically, now, how you get past the rib cage, I have no idea, but the story says, reached in, twisted, pulled the beating heart when they all started to share, eating it and handing it round. Now, some stories say they then dumped the body in a wood.
Got to be there now.
Others say that they ate the whole thing and they just buried the bones in the wood. Now, that's the story of the Seven Sisters. However, the reason that it's important that you look up and light that up again, Ken. The reason why it's important for everybody to keep an eye on that when you're driving past, have a look. Now, two reasons. First of all, on the diamond facing Newcastle City Centre, which I presume is that one, because I can't see one at the other side.
No.
They say that the little boy's spirit appears at the window. Now, people from this building, which is now something to do with golf, in the 1960s, they said they could hear people walking about like a little child running about upstairs. So we presume that's the place. But what they also said was, in 1924, 1 year after this situation, because the police were called, by the time the police got here, the Seven Sisters had gone, they'd left, and they think they went to Leeds. They're fairly sure they went to Leeds. However, it's said that the reason that the Seven Sisters, the witches, came here was because of the 5 fronds of a windmill.
Right.
Excuse me. Oh, it is frosty tonight. The 5 fronds, some say the witches saw the 5 fronds like the 5 points of a pentagram.
Right. Got you.
So it's fire, water, earth, sky, and spirit. So it was said in 1924 when they ripped the sails off that if ever the sails are put back onto the windmill, the Seven Sisters will rise from their tombs and they'll come back out to plague us again for another 10 years. So that's the story, and that's just the first one. We've got a lot to cover.
1924.
And that wasn't that long ago.
Newcastle won the cup that year.
There you go.
There you go.
It is bucketing now. Let's get under trees if we can.
There's a scooter.
I'm tempted. It's not much cover, but it's a little bit.
Be more cover over there.
The wind's starting to pick up as well.
Oh,
come on then, let's rock on.
This is really weird.
It is. But for this to be so close to a road.
Yeah.
So you guys make sure you share. Blimey, Spirit of the Blitz tonight. Share. And if you do, you can win yourself one of the Night Owl badges that Kenny's wearing. Mine's under layers of clothing. Oh, this is full on.
What way's the rain coming?
All over us. Isn't it strange though that people drive down here all the time because this is called Bright Hill? Did you know that?
I didn't. Why?
Claremont. Bright Hill.
Ah, right.
Because you got to remember we were ruled by the French for years.
Yeah, of course.
So because of that, a lot of the streets and towns that we've got and areas that we've got are also named after the French.
Yeah.
Don't expect it to get dry anytime soon as well. But keep your eyes open because even in rain, you can see spirit. And I would love to think that we can see some as we're traveling around. Now, one or two of you mentioned during the last ghost hunt that you didn't want too many torches. So we've come down to one. If we need to, tell us and I'll bring the next one next time we're out. But we're a single torch and a one light facility tonight.
I am Torchy the battery boy.
You are. But this particular trip, now right the way over this side, I know it's the main road that takes you up to Cowgate Roundabout, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Up there. Why is it called Cowgate?
Because cows were there and there was a gate.
Correct. But did you know that back in the 1300s...
Hasn't changed, has it?
It has a bit. Back in the 1300s, King Henry III agreed for Newcastle to have a market, and it became the biggest market north of Birmingham.
Right.
And people would bring their cattle and their sheep down from Scotland, across from Cumbria, all to the town moor,
right,
where they would buy and sell. And the town moor has just the most stories. They've got tons of stories of murder and bloodshed and the Civil War, and I'm going to be telling you all of those things. But keep your eyes open, because we're on battlefield right now.
Just here.
Yeah. And also you got to remember, before that road was built and you could walk straight across, this street overlooks the very area where the witches were hanged.
Oh.
So this was, you had Gallow Gate at the bottom where the football ground is, and we'll eventually be there. We're doing a grand circle. But for those of you who say, oh, if ever I'm out there, I'll come and join you. Tonight, I'd leave it alone.
I would.
Quite frankly.
The North Terrace is looking nice and warm.
Everywhere's looking. I know. You see the warmth of a place like that, and you just want to be in it. I'm not sure whether this is less wet.
The voice of the North.
Alan Robson's Night Owls. The phone-in that gets you talking.
Now, if every song was about something embarrassing that your partner or your family does, what would the songs be? You got a whole batch coming in. She is always on her phone. Yeah, that one, a bit of Elvis. He swears it well. It's just like he's farting over. He's my farty and he'll trump when he wants to. Seems like there's a bit of a thread from you ladies about your gentlemen. And also burping down the house, bit of Tom Jones there, or Paul Young. And also snorting a feeling. She's got a fatty bum bum. Love flirts. Instead of pearls as singer. Because I didn't know what this was, but it's been explained to me. Snots on his finger. He's a bit of a nose picker. And she's got a big butt, and I cannot lie. So what is... This just gives you a chance to insult somebody in your house. Take that opportunity. Send me those tunes while I talk to somebody who hasn't been on the show for a long time. It's young Elvis. Hello, Elvis. Oh, tell a lie. I've gone the wrong way. It should be Ken. Hello, Ken. Newcastle.
Hello.
Hello, Ken. Good to talk to you, mate. What can we do for you, mate? Hi.
I'm just remembering the days when you used to wind your brain up on when you've done that.
Yeah, there was years of it, actually.
Yeah, it was years. The last time I think I was online was when Michael Owen signed for Newcastle. I said he was going to sign.
Right. Yes.
And that was some years ago.
Yeah, absolutely. And everybody had high hopes, and he became one of Newcastle's great sick notes.
Yes, you're right there.
Pretty much.
But hopefully it's greater times for the two.
Oh, no question about it. And they're coming. Yeah.
But you're going to be a big miss online. You know that.
Well, I'll be online somewhere. Don't worry about it. We got a new podcast where you can get a lot of the stuff that you've liked listening to in the past, and then we'll find a way to keep Night Owls going.
But you like all the charities and all the people you've helped out over the years, you appreciate it.
Well, hey, thank you. Hey, if we help them, you never know when you might need their help.
Oh, that's it. Well, I can remember meeting you because I work for the council, and I was. Right. This was a few years ago, and I met you on the Great North Run.
All right.
When you were, and I was on the cleanup, tidying up after it.
Champion. Oh, that's great. Well, you're the hidden stars, the Great North Run, because there's hundreds of you. And as soon as everybody gets past and all the hoo-ha's out the way, there's just you guys and me left. We're the only ones left where the start is. So thank you for what you do.
the atmosphere on the Great North Run was bouncing when we used to do it.
I still do it. I
wasn't there this year, but over the years you've been brilliant.
Well, thank you very much. I'm glad you've enjoyed summing.
and hopefully you go on for a long time.
Well, I'll keep on. I'll go as long as I can, man. But thank you very much, Ken. Great to hear from you.
And I just want a big shout out to me son, Sack and Rachel.
Okay, you got it. Thanks very much, Ken.
Right, thank you.
Good night, man. Bye-bye. Now, I mentioned earlier, and somebody who used to ring a lot, and I remember this guy actually falling asleep on lane on one occasion. It's young Elvis. Do you remember that?
You have to remind us, do you?
I love it. How you doing?
Oh, I am so nervous.
You shouldn't be. Blame you should be. You're semi-professional at this.
Oh my God, that's one thing I was going to mention tonight as well.
Yeah, funny stuff.
How are you doing anyway?
I'm all right, man. I hope you. What are you up to these days?
Oh, what am I not up to these days?
Oh, right.
I just do a lot of things at the moment.
Good. Well, keep yourself busy.
I still do my voluntary work. I've been doing that since I was about 15.
Right. Great. Well done.
And I'm 30 now.
Wow, unbelievable. It's been a trip, hasn't it?
to think I'd been calling in since I was about 12 or 13 years old, man. Honestly,
fantastic. Happy days.
I'll definitely never forget the last we had, like you said, I fell asleep on air.
It was hilarious. We tried everything to get you to wake up, and then you woke up as if nothing had happened. It was like, yeah, funny.
Well, I didn't know I was on until my mum woke us up.
That's tremendous.
It was. I had a few things to mention, so I'll try and get through them as quick as I can.
Do it, yeah.
I am starting to hear the end of Night Owls, and it has been a really amazing part of my life.
Good.
So I thank you for what you did a few years ago. Stopping people bullying us online. I'll never be any more grateful than what I am now for it. So I really appreciate that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I'll never forget the last we had, when I fell asleep. And also, can you remember the time I said that I got off for someone in the back of a taxi?
Yes.
I so worded that wrong.
That was funny though.
What I meant was, me and her just got out at the same location.
Yeah, but it never sounded like that. It never sounded like that for once. Funny.
Hey, I've got a way of saying things, man. Honestly.
For sure.
I remember one time I went to a Night Owls party, but the night before I'd went to a karaoke place in North Shields.
Right.
I got quite drunk with my dad, and my dad booked us a taxi home.
Right.
Someone came up with us the following day at the Night Owls party saying, do you know who I am? Do you remember us from last night? So there's me thinking I was like in a fight or an argument or something. I'm like, no, I didn't. I don't remember you, mate. Sorry. Well, you should do. I'm your taxi driver.
Oh, so he saw you in a right state the night before.
He did. I still see him to this day as well. Shout out to Sean. He knows who he is.
I bet.
Right. I remember being on stage before you at Metroland.
Yes, I remember that too.
Yeah. Well, I couldn't believe that CD was jumping. The CD was jumping more than the crowd.
Yeah, it was where we were placed, and back in the day, you didn't use laptops. Everything was on CD. So, thank you. Yes, it jumped a lot, but it would have jumped more if it was vinyl. In fairness, so we did what we had to do. But you did brilliant. Well done.
The CD was quite scratched a bit, but thanks to Kenny and Matt for letting us doing it.
Never
Matthew Farquharson, Ridley Bailey,
absolutely.
if you remember.
No, of course, yeah, he was there.
Mentioned Colin as well, because I know he's listening tonight. He's a good friend of mine.
Good.
And because if it hadn't been for Night Owls, I wouldn't have as many friends as what I do have, like Colin, Davey, yourself, Crystal, Michael, Johnny Death, Ollie, Kurt, everyone. They're just all amazing people.
Hey, well, thanks very much for coming back, Elvis. We really appreciate it. Thanks for sharing.
Not a problem. Can I just mention one more thing before I go? I think it's quite important.
Yeah, do it, of course.
Me and a couple of YouTubers, like well known in the Northeast, are doing a video about autism awareness.
Right.
Because I know you'll probably not know this, but I got diagnosed with autism when I was 26.
Right.
So if the people who know us, they'll be looking out for it, and I'll put it on my Facebook and things like that.
Well, we'll still have our Night Owls feed as well that goes out to thousands of people. So make sure you put it on there. Make sure that everybody knows, because we've got a lot of our listeners who are autistic or have members of their family who are. It'll benefit them, I'm sure, too.
Yeah, I share a page with someone called Strive for Autism in Tenerife. Because I've got a very close friend in Tenerife.
Right.
And I know with autism, a lot of it's like, when people go like train spotting and bus spotting and everything like that.
Yeah.
I've got a friend's son who does that, and it's a really good channel. It's called GT Transport.
Right.
So I highly recommend that.
Okay. Hey, well, good
and
luck with
I
it.
just want to say thank you to you for everything.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for being part of it, Elvis. Great to hear from you again. Thanks for calling.
Same to you, Alan.
Cheers,
Much love
man.
to you.
And back to you. Thanks for calling. 0191 488 3188. Now, I have neglected to give you your first clue. Now, we are running a competition to win a drinks thingy. And Tony's not at his seat, so he can't put that image up on his screen. But we are giving away it keeps drinks either very hot or very cold. Or if you leave the lid off, lukewarm. Or cool. Oh, there it is. Hey, well done. That was quick. He dove back into that office. Non-spill Night Owls cup. There you go. They will become an absolute collector's item. So if you would like one, all you got to do is work out whose hits we're talking about. Going to give you 4 clues. Each clue is a song title. You'll end up with 4 song titles. They're all the same hit. Well, are they hits for the same artiste or artistes? So clue number 1 is when it's just about to hail. Okay. When it's just about to hail. That's the really hard clue. Okay. When it's just about to hail. 3 more clues. I think the next one's probably going to give it away. If not, the third one's a cert. And the 4th one is easy peasy lemon squeezy. The 4th one is an absolute doddle. So you will work out who this band or superstar is. Clue 1, when it's just about to hail. Let's dive on to Anonymous, who's in Horden. Hello, Anonymous.
Hello, Alan.
Hello there. What can we do for you, mate?
I'm a first-time caller.
Thank you.
I've been listening. I'm 83, and I've been listening since I was 9.
What?
Oi, Savaloy.
Hello, Easter. How you doing?
Are you all right, my friend?
I'm fine, and I never thought you were that old, But okay.
All right. Alan, when the old days, they had that earphone in, I couldn't afford an earphone. I used to have the speaker under my pillow, and my father used to bang on the wall. Get that off! Honestly, straight up. Hey, man. You're a legend, mate. You've had us crying, you've had us laughing, you've been involved in every, when you took women out of places and all that, and you're a legend, man. What are you going to do? Well, now what you're going to do, you're going to fly on YouTube.
That's the plan.
That's the plan. Aye. You're a Libra like myself, which is put us into bother more than once. It must be a Libra thing, right?
Yeah.
Boom. With what do you want to hear? Loads of times, man.
Right.
Loads of times.
Yeah.
The song, well, I've got hot chocolate. I believe in miracles, yeah. Right. And I've only got ... I couldn't fill the rest in me.
That's all right.
But I've cracked on. I've been through my life. I've been through school, unemployed, employed in a good job for 20 years, unemployed for 10 years, bang into self-employed now as a mobility scooter repairer.
Wow, how about that? You never know where you're going to end up. That's the mystery of life right there.
And I offer loads of things cheaper than most. Time Tunnel Mobility on Facebook. If anybody wants to say, Alan, I listen to Alan, you know for a fact I'll sort them out.
I know you will, man. Yeah.
But honestly, I fixed a puncher. You know I live Horden. I fixed a puncher in Battle Hill last week.
Yeah.
He said, I got one the other day and it cost us 75 quid.
Cheapest for a tyre.
To come out. No, I had to fix a puncher.
Ah, I know, but
believe us, I'm more than half that.
That's unbelievable.
The bloke couldn't believe it, honestly. The shops and all that, the big shops, they want 60, 90 quid before they come.
They're taking people's eyes out, aren't
they? They're taking people's eyes out, and that's exactly what I told me. That's why I've done it.
Yeah. Hey, well done. There's obviously a need for you, so let's hope that keeps on keeping on.
Well, honestly, people who listen will know. And it's just crazy. I mean, I'm still doing all right.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm chock-a-block.
Right, good.
As opposed to taking their eyes out and getting one a week.
No, I know, it's just not fair.
Do you know what I mean? It's honestly, the people will ring up now and tell you what the pay is for a puncher repair, a service, a breakdown. If they ring me, I'm going to be like the fourth AA. Honestly, I have really much. I'll be on Dragon's
I think so, and you deserve to be, because you're undercutting people who are just charging more than they really should.
Do all right. You can do all right for a reasonable, fair price.
Absolutely. No, I believe it.
You know what I mean? Yeah. It's crazy, honestly. Yeah. People will ring up, I guarantee, people will ring up and say, puncher, 70 quid, that was cheap.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. It's crazy prices. Time Tunnel Mobility.
Gotcha.
Facebook.
We got it. Issa, thank you very much, man. Great to hear from you. Thanks, man.
You know the score, mate.
I do. Love to you.
I know.
Take it easy.
Honestly, you have me filling up, and you haven't laughed me head off.
It's the way to be.
Play some decent tunes, innit, man?
We will. Thank you, Easter. All the best. I'm going to have a chat to one more. Then we have a tune and a star coming out at night, and it's a member of the Rolling Stones. So, Uncle Arthur's with us. It used to be Carstairs. Is it still Carstairs, Arthur?
Not quite, no. I'm about 5 miles further along the map, and a place you've actually visited, apparently, in a conversation you've had with me in the past. You've visited Lanark.
Yes, I have indeed. Oh, I like Lanark.
Yeah, so I'm actually a couple of streets away from where you were. If I had known, I would have made you a cake and made you a cup of tea and invited you around.
Everybody always says that when I've left.
Yes.
How are you doing?
Oh, I'm absolutely fine. Because you've been asking how it all started for us. Well, I think you and I have got a bit of a history here, right? We do. A bit of a history that goes back to the early 1990s. Now, I've got to say to your listeners, as you probably guessed, dear listener, I'm not from around these parts. You know, I'm not from the northeast of England. Yeah, I was actually in the days before internet radio, I was actually one of Alan's most distant listeners, and that's quite genuine. And here's how it happened. I don't know if you're aware of this one, but it actually happened when I was still at school, which was a few years ago. And in Lanark, in the High Street, there was a derelict store. It was an old cooperative store, which had been lying derelict for quite some time. And during a lunch break, such was the daftness of teenagers, we decided to go and roam around in this derelict building. And I noticed that there was quite a lot of copper wire that was sticking out of of a hole in the wall. It wasn't live because the building had been powered down. Fortunately, it was. I didn't touch it. I'd like it to find out, but it wasn't live. And I actually acquired it and stuffed it into my school bag. And then what I did was I made it. For some reason, I decided to make an aerial out of this one.
Right.
Out of this very long bit of copper wire. Now, I lived in a largish bedroom in a council house in Carstairs, as you know, and I put this copper wire around the perimeter wall of my bedroom, and so it went around the entire wall of my bedroom, right around it, all 360 degrees of it, okay? And I plugged it into the back of my hi-fi system, and one of the first things I heard was your voice. Your voice from coming over 100 miles away from where I am, and I was hooked ever since, and that was back in 1987.
Wow, that's great.
1987, when I was still at school. And throughout the years, well, got a job, eventually got married, all that stuff, and made new friends in Sunderland. So I've become a pseudo Mackham as well. And one of the things that was the cause of all that for me actually having friends down in Sunderland and going up and down every weekend as I was during the mid-1990s was actually because of your show, because I used to contribute to your program, and it was always my intention, and you'll probably remember this, is that I never do serious phone calls with you. I always try to make you laugh out loud and hopefully make the listeners laugh out loud as well, because there are a lot of serious phone calls made by the excellent contributors to the show. So I do try to lift up the mood. And it seemed to have worked because one of you, I think it was, probably the second or third occasion I actually phoned you as your most distant listener in those days. One of your listeners decided to say hello to me, and they called me Uncle Arthur.
That's right.
And so the name stuck. So that was it. From that point onwards, I was to be called Uncle Arthur.
And you were always too young, really, even to be an uncle in most.
That's very well. Not so much these days. Not so much these days. I realised I was getting old when I actually walked into a pub one day, and I think it was what 21 years old or something, and the bar staff were actually younger than me.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's when you knew you're getting old. Another occasion I realised I was getting old was when oh my goodness, I saw this. I saw this young woman, and I was only in my mid-20s myself, and I saw this young woman. She was walking down the street, and she was very scantily clad for walking down the street, and she had the short skirt and the bare legs, and she had a short top on, and my very first thought was, oh my goodness, she's going to catch a death of cold. She needs a jacket.
No, but mind you, up in Scotland, you got men that walk around in bare legs, so you cannot really have it both ways, can you?
I don't. Oh no, I don't. Right, and I've always had this theory. If you ever come to Edinburgh, as I'm sure you have many times, you've probably seen that bagpiper that stands in the Royal Mile. Absolutely. Right, I can tell you right now, he is not Scottish. Okay, he's definitely not Scottish, because nobody that's actually Scottish is daft enough to stand in that street all day, every day, in the peeing wet rain, just to earn a bit of money. We just don't do it. We have far more sense. But then, because well, I've enjoyed my time blathering to you over the years, and I certainly enjoyed my time running up and down every weekend with my friends to see my friends in Sunderland over the years as well. And it's been great. I've had a fantastic time, and I just want to say to listeners that there's a lot of things in common between Scottish people and Geordies and Mackhams, except that Scottish people don't really have the brains.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I mean, hey, we've got an awful lot in common. Let's just put it that way.
But I'm going to reclaim Berwick when we get our independence. Right. That's what we're going to do.
I think I'd be. Most of Berwick would be happy to step across the border these days. However, Arthur, it's been a joy. Thanks for sharing all those.
It has been.
Thank
you very much, Alan. Cheers, mate. Bye.
Let's dedicate a song to him then. And it's not a song yet. Oh, it's just a break. I beg your pardon. We're playing less songs so we can fit you all in. That's the deal. But we will be playing you some Rolling Stones before the end of the hour. And chatting to one of them. Why not? Seems like a plan.
Greatest Hits Radio.
Yes, I'm getting seepage.
Yeah. Oh my word. Is it even worth doing the necromancer here, or is it too wet?
I think it's too wet, really.
I think it's too wet.
I think will we get across the road?
Plenty of daffodils.
Yeah, I think it's maybe better to be slightly drier because this is soaking in the rain.
It's quite weird, isn't it? I suppose a windmill and daffodils is like Amsterdam.
Now the thing about there's a story every 5 minutes, I have to say, right. But it is important that you guys keep an eye open on what's around, because we know that this area is haunted. That's the reason we're coming down here. And it's because of what happened in this very area. Now, on previous episodes, we've mentioned a guy called Kincaid, who was a witch pricker, a witch finder. And this guy got 20 shillings for every witch that he managed to prove was a witch. And they proved it at courtrooms where all of the weight was weighted against the poor innocent people. He pricked 15. And some of these girls, he said, this young woman is too pretty to be the brethren of Satan. In other words, have sex with me and I'll not call you a witch. Everybody wins. So he pricked 15 out of the 30 that he pricked. And he had that gadget that, like fake swords when we were kids, when you poke it in, it doesn't actually go into your flesh. But if he presses the button, it's sharp enough and it'll draw blood. If it draws blood, you're a witch, and you have to go and face up to what's going on.
Well, if you didn't prick them that way, you pricked them the other.
That seems to be, that's, talk about being sexist. It was a man's world.
Yeah.
Some people still say that it is. Although, the only thing I'll say is, no women are daft enough to be walking out in this.
Exactly.
However, let's crack on. So, Witchfinder Kincaid, they tried to get Matthew Hopkins, the Witchfinder General, to come up. He refused, and we're crossing up here.
Right.
To where there's no shade at all. That'll, Murphy's Law. So they brought Kincaid down from Edinburgh. Kincaid was a bit of a scumbag, as we've established, and he found the 15, and he had them convicted and brought just across the other side of the bridge, because it's literally through the gate. Now, this is a bridge that I know really well, because for 14, 15 years I've been hosting the Great North Run, and it is the greatest run on earth. And if you've done it, consider it a privilege for me to be talking to you, because you're the absolute salt of the earth. Look at this rain driving down.
Crazy.
Jeepers. Can you hang about?
Help me!
Oh, man.
I'm an ambulance case.
We must be doing this, frankly. Right. Up we come.
Oh, my God.
Now, the rain's sweeping and sweeping and sweeping in. Now, you see the sign. I'm jumping a bit.
Cow Hill?
Cow Hill. Once we get onto the moor, I'll tell you the story of the Linty of Cow Hill.
Right.
Very famous, probably one of the earliest ghost stories of this place. But come on, let's crack on up. Now, Kincaid found the 15.
And our next caller in is Darren, who's in Shotton. Hello, Darren.
Hello, Alan. How are you doing?
I'm all right, man. What are you talking about tonight?
I don't know if you remember speaking. There was a while ago about indie artists in the North East.
Yes, of course.
It was a few weeks ago. Yeah, I mean, I just released my own album about last week and that,
Right.
And because I actually released singles over the past couple of years, what I mean. My album's already had over 550,000 streams and that,
Brilliant.
So I've done really well in that, what I mean.
That's great.
But I've been working on another song for basically it's called The Great Northeast Land.
Right.
And it's come about because I had a load of lyrics put together for different little bits of projects, what have you.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a guy called John Wall from the East Durham area, John Walsey. And he's been organising something called the Horden Heroes.
Right.
And basically what it's all about the people that passed away while working for the pit.
Right.
In Horden Pit. And what they've done is they've put this project together and produced a book. There's been quite a number of people involved in this. Excuse me. And mine's just a small part, because I've done done a bit of the music and that, I've given them the song, and it's basically called The Great Northeast Land, and it's all about the pit and and the people that worked in it, and and that sort of thing, you know.
Right.
And it's been really well received. That, like, you know, it's had quite a few streams on Spotify,
Great.
and they've used it on a video on YouTube and all that, you know.
Excellent.
So many people in the Northeast look for like Great Northeast Land, will come across the video, or if they look for Horden Heroes, they'll also come across it.
Right.
And it's doing really well in that, you know.
No, well done. It's on your doorstep as well, so it's a nice thing to be involved with, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it was looking for people who were basically involved in, like, or had families that were involved in the pits in like Horden or like Easton area and that, like, you know.
Yeah.
My great granddad used to work in the shotting pit, but I think previously last couple of years they did Easton Colliery because after the pit disasters. I think it was like focused around that. So,
right.
And so they've gone on to like do Horden pit this year.
Right.
And there's a couple of people like done photographs for like certificates, like, you know. And it's basically like a big collection of certificates of people who've passed away while they've been working in the different pits, like, you know. But like the current one that they've done is Horden Heroes.
Well, it's one of those stories of forgotten heroes, really, isn't it? Because people know there were collieries all over the Northeast, but the people that worked there, and it was a hell of a job, they get forgotten about, and it's nice that you're bringing them back to life again. Then, Darren, well done.
I think there'd probably be quite a few people in the Northeast who wouldn't be here without the pits, wouldn't there? You know what I mean? I mean, my granddad came from like Northern Ireland, like, you know, and my great granddad, so we came from Northern Ireland.
Right.
So I wouldn't have been here without him. You know what I mean?
Sure. I know, it's good stuff. Well, thanks for telling us about it, so people can find that online and check it out. Brilliant. Anything else while you're on then, Darren?
I've got a little bit of a funny one for you. I used to have the McCorville in Elwick. I don't know if you've ever known it in that, like, you know. It's just a little pub in Elwick.
Right.
And it was like about 12 years ago that we came out of there due to the recession, that, like, you know.
Uh-huh.
But while we were there, it was a great little pub and that, like. And one of the things that we did was a ghost hunt.
Right.
And I put a sign outside one night saying, now, if anybody's got any stories about ghosts in the village, because the village is actually over 1,000 years old.
Right, sure.
You know, so there's like lots of things in the village, not like, you know, that were like spooky.
Yeah.
There was like a witch had been like hung there and that, like, you know, the crossroads near Elwick and what have you, in different bits and pieces. So on the first night we ever did it, I mean, we didn't even charge anybody. It was just for donations, not like, you know, we donated the money to like Macmillan.
Right.
And one of the things that we did was like, say, people came and told us these different stories and all that. So I got dressed up as a monk. I think it was on just the night before Halloween, and we went out around the village. And there was 60 people turned up to do the ghost walk.
Wow, brilliant!
So it was mint, you know. But the best thing about it, though, as we were doing the different little houses and talking about the ghosts that were reportedly there, people were adding to the stories, you know, and it made it really good, and that, like, you know. But one of the things we ended up doing, we ended up back at the pub, of course.
Yeah.
And we had these massive stables out the back, and it was like really dark inside. And so I went in first, and I started telling the story about how this man who'd had a horse, and he was kept in the stables, and he went back to he was in love with the woman that run the pub at the time. But when he went back to the pub one night, he found out that the woman ran off with another man. So he went, the only other thing in his life that he loved, which was his horse. And he jumped on his horse, put like a noose over the rafters, the noose around his neck, give the horse a kick, and the horse ran off, and, you know, and of course he came crashing down and was hung there. Right. So as I was telling the story, I was just standing there just with this candle, and I was thinking, God, something's going to happen here. So after I just told the story, I said, if you listen very carefully, you can still hear him crying. And of course, when I said that, then I was like, ha 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 ha, and it scared the shit out of them all. Like, you know what I mean? The daft thing was, right, just to get people back to the pub, I actually added that story. I made it up. It was just a bit of, a bit of a laugh and that, like, you know. Yeah. But the strange thing was, about months later, there was a family that came from Dalton Pacey, which is next village down, and they came with this American girl, right. And as they were sitting there, all absorbed, it was at dinner time and that, like, you know, so I served them having dinner. And it got to the point where the only people left in the pub. And this American girl started telling the story. And it was a story about the man hanging himself in the stables, not, like, you know. I was standing behind the post in the pub, just crying well after that, you know. I didn't have that until it was like, you know, it was just a joke.
It added to the atmosphere for her, though, didn't it? That was.
Oh God, yeah, it did, yeah. I mean, there was, you know, she was getting little bits of spaces wrong, so I had to put her right, you know what I mean? But we kept it going and that, like, you know, but like, it was really, really funny, you know what I mean?
You do realise in like 100 years, people will be travelling to Elwick to say, this is the place where that story happened. Brilliant. Hey, well,
I
good,
mean,
good to
we
have
did
you.
like,
Sorry.
that's good to talk to you, mate. So we haven't done like an overnight stay and all, like, with like some ghost hunters and all, like, but like it was back in the days when we didn't even charge. But we did like some videos and we actually recorded some like orbs flying around and that sort of thing in there as well,
Excellent.
And I wish I could get hold of one of the videos now because we got about 10 of them done on CD, and they were like you had to watch them, that, like, they're really really good and that, like, But yeah, that's another story.
Topper. Hey,
Anyway,
well,
Alan,
good luck
take care
to
of
you, Darren.
yourself.
Thanks again, mate.
What's what you doing? Take care, mate. Bye bye.
And you, bye bye. How about that? And we asked, what's your dumbest moment or your greatest night owl memory? We'll have them too. And keep them coming in. Lots of stuff. And again, somebody's asked, can I have another look at that hat that you were sent? I think we've got the person who made this hat. Hang on. Oh, there you go. There's the green man and an owl on the top. And a bit of steampunk going on down below. It's amazing. I just like looking at it. It's fab. Nice little top hat. 0191 488 3188. Keep your calls coming. Do not forget the first clue. Can you come up with a song title that fits this clue? When it's just about to hail. Now, when you get to realise who it is, you'll get that answer straight away. But I'm not sure that many of you are there quite yet. Let's crack on. Edwin is with us. He's in Gateshead. Hi, Edwin.
Hi, mate. How are you?
I'm all right.
I'm sorry to hear about stuff I need, but I've been broke. But anyway, one more last says "When Beneath My Sheets." That song, "When Beneath My Wings," she's changed it a bit.
I bet.
How are you? How are you? All right.
Yes, I'm fine. Thanks for coming on.
I see it. That's my personal opinion. I think you put metal on the map. You put this radio station on the map. I just wish you well. You're a smashing bloke. You're a really good bloke. You wear your heart on your sleeve. You're such a nice bloke. And Chris has been a good stand-in and all when you've been up.
Yes,
absolutely.
Yeah.
But I wish you all the best, really.
Thanks, man.
I just wish we could get like a just giving page and just get your own radio station. That's what I'd love to have your own radio station. But we are just wish you all the best.
Thanks very much.
Well.
Hey, no worries. Thanks for coming on, Edwin. Really
Take
appreciate
care.
it.
Look after yourself,
Thanks,
right?
man. Bye-bye. Sweet. 0191 488 3188. And Kay has sent a little note in, says the Northeast owes you more than you ever know. Right, bless you. Thank you for that. You give and you take. And you guys have stood behind me loyal, steadfast and true. And it was the only thing I asked of you. And I thank you for it. 0191 488 3188. We have Louise, who is with us on, I think, in Chesterley Street. Hello, Louise.
Hiya, Alan.
Hello, darling. What can we do for you today?
I don't know if you remember, I was on last summer talking about Kurt and getting fundraising for a bed and stuff about me disabled son.
I do remember well.
Yeah, right. Well, I'm happy to say we've got the bed now. It took a while, but we got it. Great. We got the money at Christmas, and it come in February, and it's absolutely amazing. It's like words can't even describe how good it is.
Explain why you needed it, because obviously it was a long time since you last called, and tell us all about the bed.
Right, so obviously Kurt's 7, but he's got severe autism, severe learning difficulties. He doesn't sleep at all, so he doesn't understand danger or anything like that. So on a night, he constantly wakes up and he was like wandering the house, and obviously because he doesn't understand danger, he doesn't like he was trying to go in the kitchen, escape out of doors and stuff and everything. So every time Kurt was awake, me and my husband would have to, like, one of us will have to be awake with him all night. So we never got any sleep. So now that he's got the bed, it's like he's safe inside, so he can't hurt himself and he can't do anything. So I've never slept for 7 years. So now that I actually have got the opportunity to sleep, it's still hard because I can't do it, but I'm learning. I'm getting there.
Because it's only when you get used to sleeping again that those bags will start to disappear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's tremendous, though. So describe the bed, because the bed was the thing that you had to have, but it's not like, I mean, let's face it, if you needed a bed, we could have got you a bed in 24 hours, but this was an extra special thing. Tell us what made it so special then.
Right, so it's called a safe space bed. So
Right.
it's like I suppose you can imagine it's like a playpen type tent sort of thing, where it's got like latex of all around the side and a net at the top, and it's got windows so he can see in and out, and then it's got like the mattress near the back, and it's got like space at the front where he can play as well. So it's got huge amount of space inside, and it's like a zip round, so he can't escape. And I think that's why the professionals wouldn't help, because there's a fine line between being safe and like how the
trapped.
Yeah.
No, I get
but
that.
Obviously,
But it's
yeah.
it's changed your world, though. That's the thing.
Totally. And I mean, Kurt's got the mental age of a 6-month-old baby, so he does not understand at all. And but these beds are available, and like I live in County Durham, and they're available in Gateshead and Newcastle, and OTs give them out all over the country, apart from County Durham, which was the biggest fight of all. And it was really annoying that my county didn't help us get one, but they're all over the country, and they work great. They're in Great Ormond Street Hospital for children, and they work brilliant. And I know loads of people like in the country who've got them, and they've said the same as me. It's lovely to be able to relax knowing that the child is safe. And but I had to fight to get mine, but I've got it now.
It's there. You're sorted. You'll be able to meet your husband again.
Yeah, that's weird. It really is, because like we've hardly ever slept in the same bed for like so many years. It's like one's always downstairs, so it's really strange. It is.
Yeah, it just reminds me of a village people nearly hit. Wasn't one of their big hits. It was a nearly hit. Sex over the phone. That was probably it, because you were never going to get close to him while the band needed your help, because you were obviously looking at him. He came first, and that was lovely.
Yeah, but now we're fundraising again now, so we've got like Kurt. We can't go on holiday, and we find it hard to go like day trips and stuff, because Kurt's in such a strict routine, and he doesn't like going anywhere really unfamiliar and stuff. So we really struggle. So we're getting our garden we're getting it done out into like a sensory garden for him. So it's going to have like, I don't know if you've seen them things that you put on the fence, like they make noise and stuff, and where you can play, a water bit, a sand pit, like a trampoline, all like sensory stuff for him.
Yeah, all the smelly stuff.
Yeah, so like our garden's hazardous, and it's on a slant at the minute. It's half concrete and half like mud and soil. So we're getting it all done into a sensory garden for him. So we're fundraising again for that for him, so he can have some sort of like, he shouldn't have to miss out on things. So I'm thinking that I'll bring it to him in our garden. So everything that I would take to him, I'm going to bring to him in our garden, hopefully, so he can play and have fun and be safe and stuff. But
have you thought about contacting one of the big garden centres and explain to them what the issue is, and see if they'll get involved? It's worth it. Give it a go.
Yeah.
And also, don't forget to contact Cash for Kids as well, because this is the kind of stuff that they'll do in a sensory garden. I know how much they bring in, because they're an amazing charity. As I say, I was on the board of it for a long time. This is something they could do in their sleep. They could fund something like that with a snap of their fingers, really.
Yeah, and I mean, we're still with the Bradley Lowry Foundation as well. So that's great. And we've got so many people to thank for like helping us along the way. You yourself, because ever since I spoke to you, loads of people got in touch, all because I spoke to you. A guy who's helped us with all the online DJ gigs, called DJ Tats from Gateshead. He's been absolutely amazing. He organised loads of stuff for us, and it's like so many people that we had to thank for helping us get the bed for Kurt and stuff.
Well, you're there now. Let's see if we can get the garden turned around. That would be the next
So
one.
Kurt's got his own page on Facebook, and it's called A Safe Space for Kurt. That's where people can follow his journey, and also his Just Given page is called A Safe Space for Kurt as well. So it comes up when you type it in Google or any search bar. So so we're trying to do that now. So it'll get there eventually.
It will, no question about it. Hey, good luck to you, Louise. Thank you very much, Dan. Thanks for coming
Thanks
on.
a lot.
Love to
Thank
Kurt.
you.
Bye-bye. How about that? Great to know. I remember obviously trying to shake the tree there, and it's difficult when you just on one night a week, because obviously you can hammer it if you're on more evenings. 01914 883188. Alan Robson with you, Greatest Hits Radio Northeast. We have a Rolling Stone coming your way, but not until we talk to Trevor who is in Gateshead. Hello, Trevor.
Hello, mate. You all right?
Yes, I'm good, man. What you got to talk about tonight, then?
I'm good as a gun, like, mate.
Aye, well, it happens to everybody. We'll move on. We'll find another way to do it.
Does, nothing lives forever, does it?
That's a fact.
One thing I want to talk to you about first, mate. Me and my ex-partner used to listen to you. We regularly have listened to you for 20 years since I was about 19 or something, you know.
Right.
In fact, no, I'm telling a lie. I'm 41, so with 20 years. Anyway, did you used to be on a Friday night?
Yes, I used to do a thing at the very, very beginning. I used to do a crazy night where everybody could come on, sing a song, tell a joke, play an instrument, generally mess about. So yeah, we did.
Right, sure you did.
Yeah,
you did. Right,
yeah.
Because I've been having a debate with my ex-partner, like, didn't
yeah.
And I was saying, because were you one? Can you remember? Because were you one first, and then remember Baja Beach Club on the quayside?
Yes.
They used to get broadcasted live, didn't they, on a Friday night? Were you one before them?
No, I was on before the Baja Nights were put on the show, put on the radio, because when I came off on the Friday, I started to do Sunday through till Thursday, and I did the rock show on the Saturday. So that's how it was. Then Baja came on a Friday to fill the slot.
Oh, right. So the Friday was like a recording, and then Baja came on. But am I right in saying that you used to have like was it a Monday night every bank holiday you used to do something like a quiz night?
Blade Runner Super Quiz, yes. All
that was
4-hour quiz.
Yeah. Aye, that was mint. I can remember. Because I rang up a couple of times and I never got noticed. I rang up twice, and both times I got the question wrong, and I couldn't even get to see it through because you were like,
"You're already gone." That's it.
Aye. I thought, right. So that was a bank holiday. Then them must have been the ones who used to enjoy them, yeah.
Right, no, they were a lot of fun.
What was it called?
Blade Runner Super Quiz, it was called.
That was it. Aye. That was right. Aye. Honestly, had me heat done in for the last week. Honest.
That's great.
Anyway, so you're good, mate. Aye.
We're all champion. But Trevor, thanks for calling in.
I want to talk to you about Newcastle as well, man.
Oh, well, go on then. What about them?
What do you reckon about Bruno's cameo than it?
I thought fabulous. He
quality, wasn't he?
Absolutely. If that's the future, bring it on.
Well, my uncle was there, and my uncle doesn't have very much about football, but he can, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he was more loving, like he got his did you see all the flags and all that? And I'm thinking, well, is that what you got for the flags? But now what he means the atmosphere's back, Alan, isn't it?
It is, yeah, absolutely. You just needed to clear the decks, and they've got people in there that give a poo now, and I can only see good things ahead, which is great.
Yeah, news. Yeah. And I feel sorry for Derby if good old Mike gets in. What do you reckon about that one?
Oh, blame me. The problem is, when you've got money, you can do what you like, and that's the reality of it. And you'd have thought those fans would be looking really gingerly, but they need somebody to buy them, They need somebody to buy them. Maybe the same thing will happen. They'll have a few years of complacency, and then somebody will come in and buy it from him. He makes a big profit, and they're happy as Larry. So who knows?
Well, that's the thing, mate. The poor buggers are at the bottom of the championship at the minute, and Rudy's trying his best to get in the mood of that predicament, isn't he?
Well, it was because all of those points were taken off them at the beginning of the season.
What was that? Why did that happen, like?
I must admit, I'm not really sure myself. So if anybody knows, why did Derby have to?
That's a good question.
We'll ask the question, but it's all looking positive. Do you think Newcastle are safe yet after that win?
Well, mate, I think I do, but 3 more points is a definite.
Right.
And we've got 2 more home games. we've got a few hard ones after our home games, you know. But I think so, mate. Hopefully, but at the end of the day, mate, I was talking to you just after Christmas, and we were bottom of the league on 11 points or something.
Yeah.
You know, and we all know what I think it was Stevie Bruce, didn't we?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I tell you what, we would have been doing in Division 2, man, if he had a steel building in charge of this season, man. You know what I mean? Look what he's done at West Brom, man. He's terrible, man.
Well, he's doing his best.
He is. He's doing his best, right? That's all he can do. But I mean, he went to West Brom, didn't he, this season? And he's took them to good 6 places.
Well, he's
but
wanting,
never mind.
He's wanting Sean Longstaff as well.
Is he?
Yeah, apparently.
Is he after him, is he?
Yeah, because he thinks he might get him for a free at the end of the season.
Oh, right.
We'll have to wait and see.
Right.
Hey, let's move on,
anyway,
Trev. But thank you for...
We've got to cash in. We've got to cash in, haven't we? You know what I mean?
If we can, for sure, because we're going to need to bolster the kitty.
Anyway, look, take care, and I'll ring you on the last night, right? Make sure
all right, man. I look forward to it. Thank you. There you go. There's Trevor from Gateshead. Time for a piece of music, but first, a Rolling Stone. Me having a chat. To be honest, this lad, he came in and he talked to me for about a good hour and a half, and he didn't want to leave. We did absolutely hit it off. He's a gentleman by the name of Bill Wyman of the Rolling Stones.
I want to start at the beginning, though. Child of the War. Difficult. Can you remember much about it?
I was child of the pre-war, actually, wasn't I? Yeah. Yeah, of course I do.
Mm.
That's when it ended. I was 9.
Right.
I went to school in London through the war. I lived with my grandmother
in
South London.
Were you never sent out of the country? Because a lot of people were.
I was very briefly with my family in Nottingham.
Right.
I got sort of abused at the school by the teachers. They used to sort of whack me for not speaking properly.
Right.
Just Cockney, you know.
Yeah.
And I was very unhappy. So my mum put me on the train in Nottingham, and my gran picked me up at the other end in London. I lived with my gran through the war, and a lot more of my early life I lived with my grandmother, who was very clever lady.
London was hammered during the Blitz.
Yeah, it was all around our area, South London.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were bugs dropping and bombs. We had bombs the bottom of the street. We had top of the street and across the road opposite our house. In the next street, 2 of the kids in my girls in the school got killed when a doodlebug came down there. Across the top of our street in the next road, there was another one. I mean, they used to call it Doodlebug Alley down there, all around the southeast London.
Must have been petrified to be made.
Well, I used to go to school with it, and we used to read. We used to be shown films about what you mustn't pick up if you see it in the street, because the Germans used to drop those little bombs, that anti-personnel bombs, weapons, and that. Like they were called butterfly bombs. And they used to show you films at school about a little kid seeing one in the garden going, oh, what's that? And going to pick it up and wham, you know. They're quite vicious films when you're about 7, you know.
Absolutely.
We used to collect shrapnel instead of like things people collect now and swap it at school. And bottle tops, milk bottle tops.
Yeah.
School, you know, which you punch hole in. We used to play with them like you used to play with cigarette cards.
Right.
Later. And it's quite bizarre. You just made the best of it, really.
Yeah, for sure.
Blimey, let's get off the bridge first.
Yeah.
It's a bit, don't you wish you were in a warm car heading anywhere?
If there's any supporters live near here, we'll give you a knock and we'll have a cup of tea.
Or a flat.
Yeah. Give us a shout.
Because the water's already got through me hat. Top of my head soaking. Right.
This will be Eminem look.
Oh dear.
If you had one shot, one opportunity to seize everything you've ever wanted,
through here,
capture it, let it slip.
I would love to think that things are gonna.
Let's get arrested, because you'll be thinking, what the hell are you doing here?
No, absolutely. You can get through here, can't you, Shirley?
Ambulance for us. Yeah, we can get through that gate, can't we?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So him pulling it instead of pushing it. Right.
Oh.
Now this way. Now that's all moor. you got to remember that the moor has been divided. But stop here first. Sorry, guys, I know we're wet. Just along here is where the town moor gallows were placed. Now, at 8 o'clock, sorry, at 5:30, can I get my script right in my head? At 5:30, there was about 2,000 to 3,000 people gathered here. By 8 o'clock, 15 minutes before the big performance, 30,000 people crammed. Now, at the time, there was trees everywhere. Trees, as far as the eye could see. Because, again, what people don't realise is that back in the day, oak from the wood here was turned into warships. Hundreds and hundreds of tall ships, warships, built from all of the oak trees that were built on here. So, you've got the gallows. Margaret Brown was one of the people that died. Now, Margaret said that she was completely innocent. She cursed Kincaid. That came to pass because he ended up getting hanged himself for being a charlatan. And she said, God, because she was a staunch Christian, God, give me a sign. Now, you see, I'm not a Christian, and he's given us both a sign tonight, big style. However, she said, God, give me a sign. Show these people that I'm innocent. And at that very second, they pulled the handle, opened the, poof, down she went. Now, they used a rope that was new, and you should never, because they're too sharp.
Right.
And it ended up cutting into her, because she was an elderly woman, cutting into her own thin neck.
Right.
The top of her head lifted off, and blood spurted into the 11th row of the crowd.
Dear me.
And a lot of people said, she was innocent. Curse you, curse you. Don't curse me, curse you. And Kincaid, of course, took the money, beetled off.
Yeah.
Already getting there, some strange noises.
Yeah.
But that's the story of that. I know. Who else got hanged? There was one person got hanged for stealing a turnip. Somebody else for insulting his betters.
Unbelievable.
If you look at the people that actually got hanged back in the day, horrific. But anyway, let's crack on. Can you light it up?
Oh.
I told you that I'd tell you the story of Cow Hill, but we've got to be looking for spirit. The whole point is
especially here.
Searching for spirit, absolutely.
That story there, were they warships or were they theirs?
They were warships, of course.
Warships? Ooh. Got it.
Right.
Yep.
Right. We're in good shape. As you can see, this is the town moor. Now, I mentioned Cow Hill. Let me just tell you a bit about Cow Hill. Cow Hill's called Cow Hill because it was full of cows, and it was the big cattle market, and you had horses and... Did you see there's something just there? Well, that was interesting. Now, Cow Hill's the highest point of the moor. Now, a few years ago, we did a UFO watch from the top of Cow Hill. Did you hear that? What was that? Was that you, Tony?
That actually sounded like someone swishing past.
Swishing past, I know.
It was a swish, wasn't it?
Yeah. Did you hear that, Tony? Have a look at Tony. Oh, you don't have a mic? All right.
It was like a swish, wasn't it?
Like somebody in a long skirt?
Yeah, like that.
I heard that clear as day, though.
Yeah.
Now, the interesting thing about that is the Cow Hill story is about somebody in a long skirt.
No.
Yeah. Now, long before the Hoppings, and this is Hoppings territory. This is where the Hoppings is, along here. Let's crack down again. Long before the Hoppings, 1300s, King Henry III. Now, think how far back that was. Yeah. He allowed this. Henry III made a big market here. King John, even earlier, created a massive market here.
Right.
So when the Hoppings came, they were kind of cashing into an amazing agricultural thing that was already happening.
Right.
And a lot of people, sorry, I'm dripping with various liquids coming out of me at the moment. Nowhere important. Cow Hill was famous because on Cow Hill there was a milkmaid, and she had a team of other girls from the Cowgate area, which is essentially there.
Yeah.
And they would come, work on the field at Cowgate, milking people's cows, getting as much milk as they possibly could before they sold the cows, either to become part of somebody else's herd or kill them, eat them, whatever. And she was lovely. Everybody loved her. And you got to remember, there was wood right the way across, and the cows are in between trees, enjoying everything that there was to eat here. Because let's face it, there's no shortage of grass. Let's face it. Now, this girl's ghost's supposed to be up here. She's supposed to be running in a light white dress across the surface.
Right.
Because this girl, everybody loved her. The farmers that came from wherever they came from, they all were looking out to see this girl again, because she was always lovely to them, and a team of girls would look after them so well, because she was making a big profit. Happy, smiley, laughy, beautiful woman. And there's a phrase about her which says she could sing like a linty. You've got to be northern to understand this, mate. See if you know all the words.
Go on.
She could sing like a linty. What's a linty?
Oh God, is a. I've always thought it was an Irish whatever bird. Is it?
Yeah, it's a bird. Sing like a linty, a beautiful song, because she always sang wherever she went. This girl.
Right.
She could sing like a linty, but loup like a mountain.
Loup like a mountain.
Loup.
Yeah.
Like a mountain. Mountain is a hare.
Right.
So
you never know who's going to call next.
Now it is time to head across to Doncaster, no less, because this arrived today, and it is rather wonderful. And it is obviously kind of weird because I've got my headphones on, but there's the green man, no less. And now I'll stick it over the top, and a fabulous steampunk tit for tat. There you go. Excellent. So, Karen, alias Poppy, is on the end of the line right now. Hello, Karen.
Hi, my voice is back this week.
Hey.
It was Bonnie Tyler last time I spoke to you. Yeah.
Hey, well, thank you for that. So absolute work of art.
It's a pleasure. I love making them. It's great.
How long have you been doing this kind of stuff? I've never seen anything like that.
About 6 years. My friend was on the Most Haunted Experience team, and they were up at Wentworth.
Right.
And just asked me to do a steampunk art, and I just went crazy. I've got them with rats on top. There's the one with a real shark's head sticking out the top. I just love doing them.
But you have to be. I was going to say you have to be slightly kind of with a few tails missing to be able to do this kind of stuff. Fantastic! I loved it though. The fact that the green man was in the middle, I thought was
I did that. I've done one. I've done another one. Mine's got the green man, and I've got some mushrooms growing out the top of that one. It's just I don't know. It just keeps my mind going. I like anything
beautiful, and I love it. And you know, when somebody says, "I'm going to make you a hat," I have had people say they're going to make me things, and you get to them and you go, "Oh, thanks." But this was this is tremendous. Love it. So thank you very much indeed.
I put my heart into them, Alan.
You can exactly see that. Amazing.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. What else you got for me tonight then?
Right, we're up at Wentworth, where they just filmed a bit of Gentleman Jack.
Right.
And they filmed Victoria there. We're in a cottage that's haunted. We've had a bit, not much activity. The REM pod's been going off, but last time we were up here, the television just turned itself on, and then the K2 flashy lighty things and the lighty balls, they were just going AWOL, and just well, over the years we've had some pretty crazy things in this little
No,
cottage.
I can say that. You sent me a lovely card as well, a sacred geometry for spiritual and personal transformation.
Oh,
and I don't half need to transform, which is a good thing. It says here that you've just been obsessed with all things curious. Why?
Well, you know, like the old cabinet of curiosities. That
Yes.
Since when I was a kid, I've always just picked up just weird things. You know, I've always had an interest in anything that's just that bit different.
Right. Great. Thank
It
heavens
keeps
for
me
you.
grounded. You're welcome.
Yeah, no, it's tremendous. But thank you so much, Karen. That was
You're welcome,
well
Alan.
beyond
Anytime.
the pale. Thank you very much indeed.
Right.
Take
Night,
it
night.
easy. Bye-bye. Isn't she great? She's crackers, but isn't she lovely? 0191 488 3188. Still time to get you on here if you so desire. And we have next, it's Sue from Washington. Hi, Sue.
Hello, Alan. How are you?
I'm all right, darling. Thank you for calling. What you got for us all?
Right. I just wanted to update you really about, because you said last time I'd let you know.
Yes.
About with regards to my pain and that.
Yeah.
Well, it was last Monday. I couldn't. The nerve pain is absolutely awful. You know, and I just couldn't deal with it. And I phoned the doctor's surgery, and someone phoned us back, and I said, look, can I have some pain meds, stronger pain meds?
Right.
Oh no, we can't do that. So I come off the phone. I said, right, I'm going to phone the secretary for the spinal surgeon.
Right.
And anyway, she said, oh, he's not here, but he will be looking at your MRI results and stuff like that, and your X-rays, which you already had. So anyway, within about 15, 20 minutes, the phone rang, and I got an appointment for the next day, the Tuesday after.
Yeah.
So I said, oh, God, yes, I'm there. So me and my husband went along, and he said, well, I've got your X-rays, and it says that it's now showing that your arthritis is severe.
Right.
But he hadn't got the MRI results. Right. Well, anyway, I asked him, I said, look, can you have anything to do with my medication, like pain medication, because this is horrendous. Right. You know, this nerve pain is God, I wouldn't wish it on anyone. It's absolutely horrendous. And he said, well, I can't do that. So I said to my husband, right, I'm take us to the doctor's surgery. I mean, it was about 12:30, 1 o'clock time in the afternoon. And I went, and I said, can you get us in so I can see a doctor? And the receptionist said, well, there's no one available. I said, well, you can't leave us like this. I'm in agony. I need to see a doctor. Well, I'm sorry, but there's no one available. I said, well, if you don't get me in, I said, I'm going to go home and I can't stand it any longer. And I'll just take every single medication that I've got and do myself in. I said, I cannot live like it. I said, I don't care either. I said, because my dad's dead and my sister's dead. So I'll be with them and I'll be out of pain. Within 10 minutes, she had us in the doctor's.
Right.
I was with the doctor within 10 minutes. And she said, oh, yes, we can play around with this. We'll put that up. I couldn't do it on the Monday. Oh, no, the doctor can't do that. But I had to threaten to kill myself to get them to put my medication up a little bit higher.
Yeah. I don't understand why medics these days feel that they don't have any option other than to try and fob people who are in pain off. I honestly don't understand it. Even if they looked at your notes and said, well, look at what she's been through, maybe we can just give her one extra tablet and just say it's waiting for you at the, if they know your situation. But no, absolutely shocking, all of that. Shocking.
Yeah, that's how I had to do. Anyway, so I went to see him yesterday because I had a call and said, look, he's putting extra clinics on. So I went to see him yesterday and he had my MRI results. And I saw them both, the X-rays on my hips as well.
Right.
My hip, he said, I said, it's my right one, isn't it? That's bone on bone. So that's why I'm in so much pain with my hip, because that's bone on bone now. And the nerve, it was interesting looking at it, it's at the very base of the bottom of my back, and you can see there's nothing, and the nerve is going through, and there's nothing there. It's all gone like pressed down. So that's why I'm in so much pain. Honestly, I cannot put my foot on the floor. As soon as I put my foot on the floor, it's intense.
So
straight away.
What's the long-term prognosis then? What's going to have to happen to you to get you out of pain?
Well, the hip now has been transferred to someone else, but I'm on a waiting list now to have an epidural steroid injection.
Right.
So I've still got to be like this in agony still. I mean, the tablets don't do bugger all, and they don't do anything for us. They put my duloxetine up to 60 milligrams twice a day. So it takes till, I take that in the morning with all my others. It takes till after dinner where it kind of kicks in. So I'm just having to stop in bed until I can get out of bed, you know. It's just awful. I mean, what we did, because the other week, well, it was Mother's Day, wasn't it, the other Sunday?
Yeah.
And I said to my husband, I can't leave my mum, not, you know, I know she's going to see my brother and that. I said, but I cannot leave her for Mother's Day, her first Mother's Day without my sister. So I waited till after dinner. I had all my tablets and everything, and we just got on the road and drove down to surprise my mum.
That's lovely.
And I love getting down there. I love my family to bits. I love getting down there. And it's so unusual for me. Like, when you're getting there in the end where you know you're coming home, I'm like, oh, I wish I could go on a little bit longer. But on the Wednesday, I said to my husband, I can't do it anymore. I said, please, I've got to go. You know, we're going to have to go home. So we came home on the Wednesday. The pain was horrendous. You know, my mum said, look, why did you come down? Why you was in this pain? I said, that you didn't think I was going to leave you without seeing you on Mother's Day. You know, I just had to do it. And, you know, so that's it, really. You know?
Well, it just seems you've got a bit more of a mountain to keep climbing, but at least they're doing some things now. Did the extra medication help?
Well, not really. It takes till, like I say, after dinner to kick in, where I feel a little bit better, where I can put my foot on the floor. But honestly, when I was at my mum's, I was getting in the shower, but her shower, because I've got a wet room, but her shower, you have to step in the bath to get in the shower. Well, I was in the shower and I thought, oh my God, my whole foot's going, my whole leg's going. I could feel it going down all the way up. I'm shouting to my husband, Bill, get in here. I couldn't even rinse myself. And I managed to get out, but my leg was like jelly. I couldn't, the weakness in it, and it was just, I couldn't do anything. And I thought, oh God, I'm going to lose my legs here, you know, but that's just the nerve.
Needs sorting.
That's what it does here.
Absolutely needs
Oh
sorting.
God, yeah.
Hey, well, let's hope it soon.
Definitely.
Thanks for coming on, Sue. Good to hear from you.
Can I just say, Alan, you'll be a huge miss. Even though I'm not originally from up here, it was my friend that got me into listening to you, and I went to a Night Owls party with her. Don't tell me, I cannot remember when it was because my memory's rubbish. But yeah, I've just listened to it, and I think you're going to be a real miss. You're an outlet for people, you know, just to pour the hearts out, you know, and you know, and have funny conversations. And you know, when you told us I've got to look after my Florence a lot better, you know.
Happy days. We'll be back soon. Thank you for calling. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Alan.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye. We're an outlet, Tony. We're an outlet. You know, like toilets have got, they dribble water into your garden. We're an outlet. That's what we are. That's probably the best description. Alan, you're an outlet. Got some, incidentally, at the beginning, we did say if every song ever written was something embarrassing about either your partner or somebody in your family, what song would it be? I've had a few more. Pawns Free. Matt Monroe, blimey, that's going back a bit. A Beatles song, Vapor Pack Sniffer. Very good. And Won't Flush It. Flush it real good. There you go. Won't Flush It. Instead of breakfast in bed, she wets the bed. Oh, that's a problem. Quite like this one from Gavin. his husband, Gavin's husband, he says, his name's Chris, he says, he's sweaty bambalam. Charming. Don't know whether he's going to be your husband that long. 0191 488 3188. If you can come up with better do. Now, we asked why would Derby deducted points. Christopher Black has made it his absolute life force to get this sorted out. First, he said they were deducted points because they went into administration. And then, he says, they were initially stung with a 12-point deduction in September 21 for entering administration, with that punishment dropping them immediately to the foot of the championship table. Things then went from bad to worse for the East Midlands outfit when a further 9-point penalty plus a further suspended 3 points was handed out in November. They were left paying the price for historical financial mismanagement that occurred during Mel Morris's time as the owner. Admissions of guilt were made regarding breaches of the English Football League's profitability and sustainability rules, with Morris selling Pride Park to one of his own companies for 81 million before immediately leasing it back to the club. Chris the Truck, thank you, man. So that chapter and verse is what that is all about. Good to know. I haven't given you your second clue. I am aware of that, so let's do it now. First clue, when it's just about to hail. Remember, each answer is a song title. Then when you've got 4 song titles, you tell me whose hits they were. First clue, when it's just about to hail. Second clue, if you're a fan of Mick Jagger or any of the other members of the band, you do this. If you're a fan of Mick Jagger or any other members of the band, you do this. Complicated? 2 clues down. 2 more clues to come. I think that one's gettable. The next 2, absolutely easy peasy, right? Very simple. So if you are... If you haven't got any clues yet, we'll sort it out for you, the next 2 clues. You'll get one in about 40 minutes and one about 50 minutes after that. Ferret, the legendary Ferret, is with us in Washington. Hello, Ferret.
Hiya, Alan. Long time no speak.
No, welcome back. Are you doing all right?
I'm doing champion, mate.
Good news.
You're saying about you're an outlet. You're not. You're more like family. The Owls have always been family.
That's a fact. That is a fact. Thank you.
I just really wanted to ring you up and let you know that I'm still here. I'm still in the background. I might not be on the phone all the time, but yeah, I'm always still watching, still listening.
That's great. Thank you, man.
There always will be, because you, like I say, you are part of the family.
That's good to know. Good to know, man. Thank you very much. What you up to these days, Ferret?
I'm just keeping my head down and grafting my backside off. That's
what you have to do, man. No worries. Lovely to hear from you. Thank you for
calling.
calling.
And you're on about songs there.
Yeah.
My 5-year-old niece keeps shouting at me, Thunderpants and Thunderstruck.
Excellent. I can imagine why.
Well, at least she's got taste in music for Thunderstruck. So
no question there. That's top. Hey, thanks again, mate. Stay
well.
Yeah,
lovely. Watch what you're doing. Take care.
And you. Bye-bye. Let's get another star coming out tonight. Why didn't we? Why did we not? Alice Cooper this time. As you know, we provided him with a snake when his snake got into trouble. And I tell you, it takes a certain type of show for a superstar to know that's the place I've got to go for a snake. And we got him about 25-foot white python, I remember.
What do you think's the most vile thing that Alice has ever done?
Boy, I think people would all have different versions of what that would be, only because of what their tastes are. Like some people just think the snake is the most vile thing of all time, whereas other people think the snake is fun. Some people think the guillotine, with my head coming off and then picking the head up out of the basket and it dripping, is horrible. Other people think that's funny. So, you probably have to go to get a kind of consensus of what they really think is disgusting.
What is it?
And a lot of times what I did on stage wasn't really as disgusting as it was disturbing.
Yes, yes.
And I think that being disturbing is a good quality.
Mm.
I think that if you can sort of haunt an audience a little bit, so that like that evening when they're asleep, they wake up at like 2 in the morning and they go, "Wait a minute, what did he mean by that?"
Yes.
Except back in the middle 1700s, because that's when she existed, in Cow Hill, the high bit, because you can see it's even where we are, you can see how it
goes up, doesn't it?
It's a slow rise, right in the middle of the town moor, Cow Hill, and her body was found lying in a divot, a shallow grave.
Right.
She'd been raped because her clothes were in disorder, and she'd been strangled. And it's said that you can see the whiteness of her gown, not like, and I know quite often we see smoke or we see mist or we see that kind of stuff. And if you're a ghost hunter, you certainly, if you've ever looked, you'll have seen that kind of thing before. Different here, it is it's not even like it's her body, but her outfit, the white dress is seen. Not just out proper, like a white dress moving, and it moves so you can see the trail of a long gown going across the fields or the moor that is here. So many stories about the moor, and it's non-stop, so we should be riddled with spirit here. We're going back into town a bit later on, so make sure you share. Kenny, turn around and show your bosom to everybody. There you go. You get one of these. If you share, we could really do with it. We need at least about 15,000 people.
At least that.
To join.
Yeah, because we're going into the unknown, aren't we, in the next month?
We are, absolutely. So anything you can do, please do. And we rock on. So the town moor, usually on Great North Run Day, there's tents and all kinds of stuff.
There's somebody in white just going there, isn't there? What? Did you not see that?
Kenny's just seen somebody in white.
No, seriously, I think it was just somebody walking, I'm surely.
Really?
Yeah. Hang on,
It's
they'll come through there, won't they?
They'll come about it.
They must come through there, because they just walk from there if it was.
Well, there's nothing there for them to come through, is there? Let's go down.
That was somebody walking.
Well, you'd see him though, wouldn't you? So was it just at the gate, Ken?
At the gate, going from right to left, walking along here. So there must be there-ish.
Well, hang on. If there's anybody there, I'll go and see him.
Definitely there.
I've already walked 1,000 miles. What if the bricklayers can do it? So now here's the gate. We're at the gate. I didn't hear the. Did you hear the gate move?
No.
Well, you would, wouldn't you? Yeah, you'd hear that.
Sorry, mate. Yeah, we will. Definitely walked along
There's
there.
nobody here. And you'd have heard that, wouldn't you?
Well, you would hear that, yeah.
But hang on, before we go through.
There's definitely someone walked along there.
Before we go through, let Kenny check that out. Before we go through, how many of you been to the Hoppins? I love the Hoppins. Could barely ever afford to go on very much when I was a kid. But if you got a candy floss or one of them apples covered in that red toffee, you are happy as Larry. Last time I came here, I did a gig and I decided to kind of show off a bit. So we built a big stage. We had some live performers. I decided to wear, always a mistake, white waistcoat, white trousers, black shirt.
Somebody walking.
Thinking you looked the biz.
Look, there's
and we had
somebody
about an hour
walking.
before we got started. So, oh, hang on, Kenny, come back, Ken.
There's somebody walking.
Hang on.
You're gonna have to be quick.
Oh, sorry, Kenny. When I'm telling the story, you're over the top a bit because
from there they just walked all the way up there. I would have got them on this camera, I would imagine.
Where are they? Kenny
went
thinks he's
up
got them on
to
camera.
there,
too.
to the corner.
Oh, I saw something white there.
Yeah, it was white. It was like white, but I thought it was like white trousers.
Well, it's supposed to be a long white skirt.
Honestly, it'll be on this camera. It should be on this camera, although it's a long way away. Like, but
sorry, it's just me. just be aware though when I'm chatting. If you chat,
yeah, sorry.
we kind of cut across. Just so we're on the same page. Nice.
I got shocked.
Not a problem. No, I'm not surprised. I saw something white though in the distance. It was over there to the left of where the lights are of the building. There it is.
Yeah. What the hell?
There it is. No, it's
it walking?
behind the bush.
Yeah. There.
But maybe there's car lights. Could it be one of the car
No,
lights?
it was somebody definitely walking. Definitely.
Whoa.
Right.
What's your memories of the town moor, Kenny?
Town moor, I used to love going there. Went every year. Looked forward to it. Hook a duck. All the, like when you took the things, you know, to win
Do you remember
things.
the dive bomber? They were just.
I love the dive bombers.
Two
oh
just
my word!
Capsules,
Loved
and all
them.
they did was go around and around, and people would stand. Talking about grizzly trails, people would stand underneath them because all the pennies would fall out the pocket. So you'd be picking up 20 pences. Well, back in the day, shillings and stuff originally, but then proper money, 50 pences and pound coins.
Yeah.
However, you had to have the benefit of their vomit when they were sick out the top as well. So here we are. Let's go back just to the one just for a second.
It was actually a call of duty, wasn't it? If you went on the dive bombers, you were considered a man after that.
Absolutely, you were a real man. If you went on the waltzers, you were just looking for women.
Oh yeah, with dive bombers.
And it was always the tattooed
weirdo
that from the waltzer that had got all the girls.
Who used to walk round them and stand in the middle and look at me, look at me.
Absolutely.
And you always thought, I hope he falls off.
Yeah, we hated him. No, oh, look, there's white there. Look, wait. What is that?
Just there.
Can you block your camera?
Oh, I'll get on mine, won't I?
Oh, whoa, what was that? Look there.
There, I'll get on mine.
It's actually when you're just off beam.
There.
You'll get it on yours though, Kerry.
I should have it on here.
Oh, that's something.
Why would anybody be walking on the moor here
in white?
In the rain and freezing cold.
It's funny, but when you turn that away, yeah, can't you see that?
I can see it.
There.
Yeah.
There. Glowing white in the distance.
Why?
Look, there.
Why is that?
I hope you can make this out on your large tellies at home. That would be very cool if you did.
Sorry.
I know, brother. Now you see that you can understand. Cyclist, completely in black because it's bucketing down,
but not white walking.
But no, but that's twice I've seen clearly that white thing. But the reason that I'm mentioning the Hoppings is the story of the Hoppings head boy. Now, it wasn't actually a boy, was a man. Can you remember when you went to the Hoppings as a kid, mate, not in recent years?
Right.
They had a thing called the Emporium of Freaks.
Yeah.
Now, the Emporium of Freaks, there was two types. One was an absolute rip-off, which is you'd go around and you'd say, see the bearded this and see the man with three legs.
The five-legged sheep.
The five-legged sheep was common.
Yeah.
But sometimes you'd go and there'd just be like holes and you'd look through the hole and there'd be a photograph of it.
Yeah.
And you'd feel totally written off.
Yeah.
But there were others that you'd go in the middle and there was usually like a long coach, the body of a coach.
Yeah.
And on the coach, there was the five-legged sheep, the two-headed ram.
All of that.
And they had in bottles in this particular one, the heads of famous murderers. They had Jack the Ripper's head. Well, nobody found out who he was.
No.
We know. If you've been on Robson's World, we answer that question. We can prove it too, who Jack the Ripper is. However, the head of Jack the Ripper, the head of this murderer and that murderer and another. So all these murderers' heads were in glass jars. Now, everybody presumed that they were wax or plaster or something. However, one day, and we're talking early 1900s, when the Hoppings was fairly in its infancy, this woman came round and she recognized one of the heads in the jar.
No way.
And she said, that's my dad. that's my dad in the jar. And of course, the man saying, no, it's not. It's Ernie Dobbs, the murderer who killed that woman in Leeds. And she says, it's my dad, it's my father. And her dad had, you know how when you get to a certain age, you get little knolls on your face that you never had before. I got a little, I have no idea what it is, some kind of bizarre growth. However, she said, look, it's my dad. He had that.
She would know.
It's his dad, our dad. So she ran out. Now, at the time, Newcastle wasn't as near.
Right.
It was a little bit further away.
Yeah.
The bulk of Newcastle was kind of city central. So she went running down there to get the police, and the police came back with her. By the time she got back,
he's got hated, isn't he? Yeah, yeah.
Gone. And they travelled around the roads looking, and they never found this thing. However, what they did do, they went to the father's grave and they exhumed the body. Took about a week to get the paperwork done. Body came up. The man's head had been hacked off with a shovel.
Man.
So it had been.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing that we have to remember is, what was in the other bottles? Who were in the other bottles?
Yeah.
And what else did... Because I remember seeing in a glass bottle, babies.
Oh, all sorts, yeah. Yeah.
So whose babies were these? Because you think these are things created and sculpted in an art shop. They were probably all real.
Yeah. And handed down.
And passed on to freak show to freak show. Yeah. So, yes, we know the vast majority of people that come here working for the moor are decent. Well, that's that white thing again, Kenny. I'm seeing white glowing over in the distance. So you're right there, straight ahead.
There.
I can see it. Pull the torch away. You can still see it.
You can.
Once you get the glow of the torch, you know, the Tony's light there.
Yeah,
you see it straight ahead.
Yeah.
Tony, I hope you can see that. Can you make it out? Tony's too close to the light to.
This camera should get it, shouldn't it?
Right, come on then. Let's go to where there's a bit more than blackness, because we've got an awful lot to tell you about. Let's get through. Whoa. Now, I love stories, tales of daring do. We're now entering somewhere that you guys will all have been, talking about the hoppings. You've probably been here, and if you've got no place for the little goldfish that you've won, you've probably gone up to the lake and set it free, like Willie was freed. Mind you, in this park late at night, I would imagine there's been a fair bit of Willie over there.
And free.
Probably.
Not that we're casting any dispersions
Not at
on
all.
any students.
Live your life, be free, just don't hurt anybody. But up here, I'll be telling you about some of the buildings here too. But we're doing a great circle. First things first though, let's get up to, which is now the Wylam Brewery, which is, it's
lovely.
described as an emporium of arts.
Oh, nice.
Last time I was up there, I was invited by the Hairy Bakers to come and see Si's band, because he's got he plays drums in a band.
Is that right?
In a fashion, he does. No, he did a good job. And he was on up there. There was like a disco of rock music, because he does a rock show.
He loves rock, doesn't he?
He's a good man.
I like him.
Me too. He's solid. So, why have I brought you here? Well, I brought you here because of this. This path leading up goes across there. Eventually, can you shine it? There should be some tennis courts in the distance. Or just...
I mean, the current car we've got, it has a computer that listens to everything you say, even when the audio switched off, whatever. I'll give you a quick example. A friend was out with me one day, and I said, when we get back to the village, I want to go to the chemist. I've got a prescription to collect. And the voice of the computer said, there is a pharmacy 1.2 miles further on this road on the left-hand side.
Brilliant.
And I thought, that is scary. It's listening all the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it often chips in. Is there anything I can do for you? And Brenda generally says, "Yeah, shut up."
Yeah.
And it just says, "Oh."
Oh, you should test it. You should say, Bring me a white chocolate Magnum. See if it'll do
Well,
that. Are you on a hot day?
It would tell me where I could get one, that's for sure.
If only you could get there.
But
That's the thing.
it's strange, and you wonder, is it storing up everything that it hears?
It must be, I suppose. Then it'll tell the story of your life, George.
Oh, God help us all. I mean, I'll be sued by the software. But where will I be able to find you in the future?
Well, that's a question, because as it stands, we're going to be podcasting. Now, the podcasts will be audio, so you'll be obviously able to listen to them.
Yeah.
They're wherever you get podcasts. Spotify, Apple, Google. So if you've got a computer...
I've got Google.
Google will do it. Just type in Alan Robson podcast or Night Owls podcast, and it'll be there. Other than that, we will be trying to come back in some form as a talk show. So just, if you keep listening to the podcasts, we will use them also to a signpost where people can get us whenever we set up. We're doing ghost hunts, but they're visual things on a Friday, so they have no use to you.
No.
Right.
No.
And if you want to listen to stuff that we've done in the past, including stuff we've done with you, funnily enough, it's on a website that you can also Google called Robson's World. There's a whole load of stuff.
Oh, right.
So there you go. There's a ton of stuff for you to download on there as well that you can listen to. Okay.
I've with you mentioning ghosts, I would, if there was a visual ghost about prancing up and down in front of me, it would go absolutely demented because I wouldn't even know it was there.
Well, the only sign you would get is if any of your fingers start to freeze.
Well, I told you I've got two.
There you go. It's already happening, George.
Yeah, well, I mean, there it is. There it is. But I think Night Owls, all the years it's been going, it's been absolutely brilliant, and thousands of people have got a hell of a lot of enjoyment, entertainment, and there's been sad moments as well.
For sure.
But I think it covers the whole gamut of broadcasting. And I mean, how many years is it now?
It's about 46, 47.
Well, that makes you an old dodger, doesn't it?
Well, I could have been born on a leap year.
Well,
no, it means I'm what's the right word? Because you can't say that. You can say cherished. Yeah, cherished. Well-worn. A well-worn presenter. That's probably where I'm at.
Like an old boot, you mean?
Thanks, George. I'll take it. I'll take it.
A well-worn boot.
It's a stylish boot, though. It's got a
yes.
It's got a Cuban heel. There you go. Happy days.
Oh, well, yes. There it is.
Hey,
but it's been brilliant all the years, and hopefully something will be done to because I'm sure that there's lots and lots of people would like you back in the old way.
No, I fancy being back in the old way as well. Thank you, George.
Yeah, you take care, Alan. All the best to you and the team.
Thank you. Love to Hazel as well. Thanks, George.
Yeah. Cheers, mate.
Bye-bye. Oh, we love George. We always love George. Got some more of those songs about embarrassing things. This one's... I've read it 3 times. I've got to learn how to say it properly. Do you remember the song Star Trek Across the Universe? It's same keks on for 5 long days at work. Oh, really? Pete, who works on the Team Valley Trading Estate, wears the same underpants 5 days at work before he changes. Oh, blimey. That's a bit squirmy down the old alleyway, isn't it? But there you go. Thank you very much, Pete. I bet you're glad that everybody at work now knows this about you. And Jane is married to Billy. Billy has a bit of a personal problem. She keeps telling him about it. He chooses not to use deodorant. It's becoming a problem. So she has written, drink a drink a drink to Billy the Stink, the Stink, the Stink. A bit of The Scaffold for those of you what now your hits. And the one I didn't want to mention early in the show, but it came in about 10:05. Embarrassing songs about embarrassing things your partner or family do. I beg your pardon, 11:10. I didn't want to read it then. Remember the Michael Jackson song, Beat It? Great song, Eddie Van Halen on guitar. She has written, He Beats It. I'm just going to leave that hanging, quite frankly, which is the best place for it. Do we have a break or a song or a break? Just a break. Right, because you never know these days. It's best I ask. Yeah, quick break. We're back with you.
Greatest
in blood, and he's still fighting. And he said, he stopped, and he took his hat off, shook the blood off his hat and put it back on his head and said, come on, me bunny lads, let's be having you. Now, if you've already killed 20-odd men, the rest are a little bit tentative. He killed another 2, and the captain of the Roundheads came up and said, pray, sir, put down your arms. Feel free to go, for I believe that we have done our duty. In other words, I'm going to get killed.
Exactly.
And they let him go, and he went off. Now, do you know there's a very famous painting called The Laughing Cavalier?
Yes, there is, yeah.
Some people say, don't know how true it is, because the person in it has been named dozens of times by dozens of people. However, Weatherly got on his horse and he started laughing. And as he rode away, he says, good day to you, gentlemen, and just rode away, not raced away, just rode away. And a lot of people believe that The Laughing Cavalier was based on Weatherly's story right here.
Amazing.
How
that
cool.
Is amazing.
How cool is that?
Oh,
amazing
man.
Story.
And everyone's heard of The Laughing Cavalier.
Absolutely.
Most
of course. Now there's another song that we're going to be getting into soon, but you know that this this road that
There's
leads
somebody
up...
walking. That's definitely somebody walking. Look.
Where?
That was a person. That was a person walking, definitely.
Kenny, I'm not seeing it, man.
No, they just walked down there.
Mind you, I have been looking into the light a lot.
No, somebody just walked just down there, though. It was somebody walking, though. That was just a person.
But I must say, the beautiful statues in here. But that, of course, used to be... did you know what that used to be? Up here, there used to be an aircraft factory.
Did there?
They used to build aircraft here. And in the early 1900s, 2 members of the IRA came to the aircraft factory and set fire to 2 aeroplanes.
Never. Just here.
And they were supportive. The IRA were supportive of the Germans in the First World War.
That's right. They were. They let them dock their ships there and stuff, didn't they?
That's correct. So strange things. I remember that being like an engineering museum, and it used to have that boat on it.
Somebody just walked past that light. Honestly and truly, they have. Because the light went off. The light went off and they've kept on walking past it.
Oh, it is possible this time of night. Just why would they be in the rain?
I know. But that was definitely somebody just walking there, mind.
So many stories, though. Blue House. Why is the Blue House Roundabout called the Blue House Roundabout?
Well, there is a blue house next to it, but I don't think it's that, is it?
Yes.
Oh, it is because that, is it?
But the Blue House used to be run by the freemen of the city.
Right.
Gave the house to people to live there, providing... You're getting the echo?
Yeah.
There's a strange echo here for no reason. Help!
488 3188.
This is Night Owls.
Thank you very much. Now, lady called Carrie has just sent in another song about embarrassing things that members of her family do. She's married to a man called Wayne. Not that one, because there are many Waynes. And she's married to one. And she says that when he gets excited, the corners of his mouth froth up. And if he gets really excited and keeps talking, he dribbles a bit. So the song she's come up with is Dribble It Just a Little Bit. And you remember Wriggle It? Blame me, that's years ago. But well done to you. Love Flirts, because this one's a man's flirt. And also a thing that Caroline hates about Robbie, and it's something that he does all the time. He tells really dodgy rude jokes. So a bit of a Rod Stewart song she's chosen. He is dirty joking again. Very good. And as soon as I mentioned the body odor suggestion, do you remember DISCO by Otto Wan? Ah, classic. He has got BO. Thank you. So you see, even people are picking on other people's family members. It's come to that. So keep them coming. If you've got any more, do share. 0191 488 3188. Pauline's come up with, so you remember Sorrow, David Bowie's song? I think it was it the Easy Beats before that? Instead of Sorrow, Shallow. Ooh, 0191 488 3188. Keep them coming. Meanwhile, I'll talk to Stacey from Waka. Hello, Stacey.
Hi, Alan. You all right?
I'm good, darling. Thank you for calling. What are you talking about tonight?
Just a couple of things. Just a quick update and everything.
Okay.
First thing is, I've got all my benefits sorted out now. Remember the last time I spoke to you?
Yeah, they were all over the place.
I had a hoo-ha about the PIP and everything. That's all sorted now.
Great.
I got a big lump sum back at the Christmas time, just in time for Christmas.
Perfect. Great.
And then Kevin got his sorted out just after Christmas, around about March time.
Right.
And then he got a big lump sum as well, surprisingly, off the government, you know.
That's tremendous.
So that's all the benefits sorted out. I had COVID last week.
Well, how are you feeling? Are you all right?
Well, I'm a lot better now, but, you know, I'm one of these people that says, you know, Rona's never going to get us, because I call it Rona Corona.
Right.
And, you know, I laugh about it and say it's never going to get me, you know. I've been so careful. I've never been going out. Like, for the 2 years, I've never went out. And if I have, I've always wore a mask. Well, when the government started changing all the rules and regulations, I thought, oh, well, I'll just pop out. You know, it's not going to get us in, like, 2 days.
They got you.
Cut straight away. So I was really sick on...
right.
I was really, really sick on the Monday and the Tuesday.
Right.
And I thought, well, you know, I'm not me normal self. So the Wednesday I had done a test and it was come back positive straight away, like instantly come back.
Yeah.
And then about 4 days later, Kevin done one and he was positive. So I had to give it to him.
Right.
But for the 2 days, the initial 2 days, I was like dead in bed.
You're rotten.
I wasn't eating, I wasn't drinking. Right. And I had, when I had tested positive, this was on the Wednesday when I was starting to feel a bit better.
Right.
But I still had like a cough. Right. I phoned the cancer consultant at the hospital.
Yeah.
And he says, no, you should have phoned when you first were feeling sick because we could have given you other antibodies. Everybody who has like blood cancer or bone cancer, as far as I'm aware, the consultant says as soon as you're feeling sick and it has symptoms of COVID, you contact us because there's a bed and a ward ready for people like with leukemia. So they can have the antiviral straight away.
Right. Oh, my goodness.
So thankfully, my body's fighting. I've still got a little cough now, but other than that, I'm negative.
But you're feeling better now?
It was 2 days. I thought I was going to die. Right. I literally did.
Yeah.
And my temperature was sky high. Like, it was over 40 for, like, the 2 days.
Yeah.
It's
good news, though, that with your other problems, obviously, that your body's still strong enough to fight it off, though. That's great news.
Well, that's what the cancer doctor says, you know, because obviously, you know, your white blood cells are to fight infection.
Yeah.
And with someone with leukemia, they don't have any, if any, white blood cells. And the cancer doctor says that just shows you that your body's low on white blood cells. It's still fighting it.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Brilliant.
So your immune system is not as weak as what we think.
Yeah, and it's great to know. I mean, it's awful that you had to have a couple of horrible days, but it's great to know that your body's fighting back. That's great, Stace.
But then I says to the cancer doctor, I says, well, not really. I says, it could just mean that the leukemia has got worse, where then I have more white blood cells than what I should. Because I've been feeling rough, like in myself lately as well.
Right.
And when I feel like that, that means that the leukemia is on a higher percentage.
Gotcha. I understand.
So I've got a review, but they've got to allow 3 to 4 weeks between your like from testing positive to having an actual appointment at the clinic because of what it is.
Right.
So as soon as like the 3 to 4 weeks is up, that's what I have to do straight away.
Right. I hear.
So that was our thing. Also, I sent Chris a picture.
Right.
Did he send it to you?
I haven't seen the picture. Chris has but Chris has got it. What's it a picture of?
It's a picture of you in 2015.
Oh, blimey.
There's a woman
he's just about to send it, so I'll have it in a second. Right. Oh, yes, I've got it. Explain
Right,
it for everybody.
Right, do you remember this woman?
I think so.
Do you know the woman in the picture? Do you remember her?
No, I don't think so. Who is it?
Right, well, she was a close friend of mine. She lived not far from us. I'm not going to say who she is because obviously for our family and that.
Right, sure.
But she was a close friend.
Right.
She came out of hospital. I assumed that you knew of her because
Right.
she was like a big fan.
Oh, I've seen her before. I couldn't name her, though, is what I mean. I've seen her before, absolutely.
So her name is Diane.
Right. Yes,
Right.
that makes sense. Yeah.
So anyway, so she was ill. She had a fall before Christmas. And listen how peculiar this is. It's not a good story, like, but it's peculiar. So she had a fall of the Christmas because she's got like a lot of medical problems.
Right.
She was a good friend. She went into hospital from just before Christmas to the 13th of January. Right. She was out of hospital 2 weeks. They give her in like carers that were in the house like every day.
Right.
But she had fighted 2 years to get the help because like she wasn't very mobile.
Yeah.
So she was out of hospital 2 weeks. On the Saturday night, she had a headache, right? And she was texting me because we're friends. 11:30 on the Friday night, on the Saturday night, she texted us. And when I woke up at 7 o'clock in the morning on the Sunday, she was found dead in the house.
Oh, that's awful. My goodness.
But her health was fine. Like when she left from hospital, her health was fine. Just a problems that she had lived with for a long time. So all comes to all, what had happened was she had a wound on her head when she fell before she went into hospital.
Right.
So when she was in hospital, they cleaned her head. Like they should have surgery to clean it inside.
Right.
And when they sent her home, she's had
an infection or something.
sepsis in the wound.
Right. Oh.
So she all comes to all, she died of a heart failure due to sepsis of an opened wound.
Oh,
how weird is that?
Awful. You go in to get better, and it finishes you off. Awful. Horrible.
And she had lived months and months with this. You know, she had a cut on her head, right? And it was like, I don't mean to sound disgusted, but it was like scabbed over.
Yeah.
And it was fine. She was fine. And I think them opening it up, I'm not saying they're at fault, but I think them opening it up is caused the
it sounds like
the infection inside of it.
Awful. Oh, what an awful story. That's a shame.
So another thing is, my sister, I'm going to be an auntie again.
Hey, well done. Good.
So I'm already an auntie to one sister.
Right.
And now the other sister, Demi, I think you've spoke to her before in the past.
I have, absolutely, yes.
She's 6 months pregnant and she's 7 months pregnant and she's due in June.
Right. I will give her me love. Give her me love.
She's having a little boy.
That's great.
And just two more things. One thing is the thing about the songs about your partners and stuff.
Oh, yes,
Well, this is about my sister. So there's a song, but I don't know who sings it. It's called Wiggle Wiggle.
Oh, yes, Wiggle Wiggle. Wiggle it.
Like she doesn't wiggle wiggle, she waddle waddle because of her bump.
Well, that's nice. Good job. And what's the last thing?
In the memory things, like the good and bad memory things about like being on the show, was when I got this flat, when you put it out for people to help us get stuff for the flat.
All your stuff. Yeah, it's great.
And the worst one was when I had to phone up and tell you that I had got cancer.
Yeah, that is the high and the low right there. Hey,
and sorry, one more thing I've just remembered.
All right.
The guy that was on before me, you see, I'm trying to explain what name I can call you for what you've done for Newcastle. There's only one word that you can say about you, and that's hero. And I want you to remember one thing: not all heroes wear capes.
Thank you very much, Stacey. Bless you, darling.
Thanks. And you will be missed, but I'll be listening for the future.
Thank you very much. Look forward to it. Thanks, Stacey. Take
care. No problem. Bye.
Bye. Oh, sweet. 0191 488 3188. Chris the Truck's come up with a song as well. She drives Miss Daisy. Instead, she drives me crazy. 0191 488 3188. We have another clue coming very, very soon indeed, but we need another one of these to get out the way.
Greatest Hits Radio.
that light is the other side of the lake.
It
So how
is.
could anybody walk
past it? They'd have to be on the lake.
That is weird. Somebody definitely walked past it.
But the
'cause it
blue
went off.
house was looked. Hang on, gravel. Yeah. But the blue house was given to people who could look after the moor.
Right.
Keep
Well,
keep
Freemason, yeah.
But they put animals on it to keep the grass down. Because how do you mow that?
Exactly.
You know, especially if you've got a scythe. It's gonna be
You'd
a bit of
on
a day.
forever.
Can you get into this easier? Can you?
I don't know. I'm trying to think where we're because there's a big lake there, isn't there?
There is, but it's is that here? Maybe just here, Kenny.
Well, this path obviously leads to the Wayland Breweries, I would have thought.
It does. But I remember that, was it the Carpathia?
Yeah, that's what it was called,
and
wasn't
now
it?
that's in
Yeah.
the Discovery Museum.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the lake.
There's the
I've
lake.
put fish in here before.
Right.
There should be about, Hell's Teeth will be 50-year-old by now.
Yeah.
They'll be the size of Jaws or Megalodon. The Meg.
This could be the Loch Ness Monster revisited.
So for those of you that don't come to the park and you think, just a park, it's a nice, if the weather's better, it's lovely.
Oh, it's lovely.
And the cherry blossoms just coming out. And of course, the ghosts of dead people exist here.
Yeah.
That's the, oh, hang on, we're going round in a circle here. Is there a path
We are.
down?
There must be like a...
There'll be a path down the bottom.
Be careful, Tony.
Yeah, very
It's
careful.
slippy.
All right, Ken, just give me just a hint of that town where, or the Linty. I've already told the story of the Linty.
Yeah.
Now, just up at the top of here, there was a smallpox hospital. Had 72 beds for normal people. It had 100 beds for those that had smallpox and were likely to pass it on. And so that was on the town moor too. Did you know Grandstand Road is the next road there, isn't it? It's the one that, you know where the Blue House roundabout is? It cuts across. It's just the other side of the moor. Why was it called Grandstand Road?
There must have been a grandstand there.
There was, because there was a horse racing circuit there before. There was also, strange but true, in the late 1800s.
Yeah.
0191 488 3188.
Greatest Hits Radio.
Mary has just come on and says that her husband has a very nasty habit of putting his hands down his tracksuit bottoms and shaking the sausage, I think is probably the best way to put it. So the song title she's come up with is Dirty, instead of Dirty Cash, Dirty Scratch. He has a dirty scratch every now and again. 01914 883188. Ladies, you got no idea how complicated it is down there. It's a fact. Anyway, let's crack on. Third clue, and then we got James from Anetsford. Right, clue number 1, when it's just about to hail. That's a song title. Second song title, if you're a fan of Mick Jagger or any other member of that band, you do this. Third clue, a very strong wind or a fabulous British fighter plane from World War II. 2 clues, same word. A very strong wind or a fabulous British fighter plane from World War II. Right, song title. What song title's that? And the fourth clue is coming up, and it's a doddle. The last one absolutely is a doddle, so get ready for it. And let us continue with whatever you lot want to talk about. James is with us, as I say, from Anetsford. Hello, James.
Hi, Alan. Yes, I've been listening to you from Yearblanc.
Well, thank you very much for that.
But I've been chatting to you now and again for a number of years.
I know you have. Thank you.
But I've got to put this out here because you're a diamond. Because on the 23rd of December 2013, you know, I lost my daughter.
Yes.
And the hospital, the doctors couldn't in. I was really, 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 Alan, you didn't know how good you done that night. Is because you basically saved my life that night. You know, I have good days, I have bad days, and worse days since. You know, because you would have known that my calls was a bit more serious than what it used to be.
Absolutely,
you know.
Absolutely, man.
But yeah, hats off to you, Alan. You're a diamond.
Well,
you
thank
know.
you, man.
You got me through that week. Never mind that night. Believe it or not, what you're doing.
Hellish time.
And it was a privilege to meet you at the Sharers Bar, if you remember.
I do. I
at
remember
Newcastle.
Well, absolutely.
Yeah. That's all I'm going to say. But I had to thank you, and from the bottom of your heart, you're a diamond.
Thanks, man. All the best,
Right?
you. Lots of love.
And I hope everything comes okay with you and your team, and you crack on from then.
We'll do our best, man. Thanks again, James.
Thank
Thanks
you.
again.
It's a privilege carrying you, mate. Right?
Well, it's a fact.
Have a good one, though, Alan. Have a good one.
I will,
Right.
James. Thank you.
Right.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
My goodness. 0191 488 3188. Debbie's with us. She's in Winlane. Hi, Debbie.
Hello, Alan.
Hello, darling. How are you?
I'm all right. Husband's been kept in hospital.
Oh, no.
Gets his operation tomorrow. Take the fluid off the lung.
Right. So do we have any idea when he'll be home?
No.
Let's hope it's soon anyway.
Yeah, he's getting a little bit of forgetfulness.
Right.
Like Alzheimer's. You can see it in his face when he kind of gets. It's the look, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he's panicking because he can't. I went through it with both my parents, and it's a horrible.
And you know that look that they give you though. Yeah. It's either a nice look or an angry look.
Yeah.
And they don't mean it, but it's there. Do you know what I mean?
I think it's frustration because they want to do something that's natural, and it's not happening for them. Do you know what I mean?
No, not to me. So they asked him a few times the day what he's in hospital for, and then he looks at me, and I know why he's in hospital for. Is for the operation.
Sure.
But I have to remind him, say, this is what's going to happen to you. So they told us not to bother going in, but I can phone up to make sure he's okay.
Right, absolutely.
But it's just when
tough.
You've been together for 20 odd years.
No, your bookends, Debbie, your bookends.
Aye.
So it's going to be tough. But you've got to be strong for him now. That's the thing.
I know.
Because, all the way through your traumas and difficulties, he was absolutely there for you. I remember him pushing and shoving you when you came in to see me. I remember that clearly. So your turn now, love.
Yeah, it is, honey. It's
going to be hard for you. But you just got to be strong for him because if you fall apart, you lose him.
I won't. I know you won't. I do me crying when I have a shower, and so, if you understand what I mean, so he doesn't hear.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Because it's just sad.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And then it is because he knows what he wants to say, and then it doesn't come out right.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, I hope they don't think he's racist because he's not. But it's just some of the things that he comes out with,
Yeah. I found that both my parents couldn't control much, frankly.
Yeah.
And they didn't know who I was. And they would get a shock on seeing someone they'd never seen before, even if it was a doctor or a specialist or a nurse or a porter.
The thing was, he wouldn't go to the doctors, and you can't force them.
No, I know that.
So when he was in hospital on Friday, they asked him what day it was. He couldn't tell them. And it's just, like I say, it's just sad.
It's tough. It is. You're in a tough place. But hopefully things might get better, because when you're on medication, you're all over the place anyway.
Yeah.
And he'll be on a lot of medication, getting ready, like he's pre-op and all that kind of thing. He's going to be loaded with his stuff. Hopefully when he comes out, his head will be a bit clearer.
Why the night, though, he says to the nurse, he says, are you going to have your tea? He goes, well, what is it? And she goes, something with chicken. But it wasn't. It looked like mince and potatoes kind of thing.
Yeah.
And he turned around and he says, can I not have a stotty and all?
Hey, you see, well, he hasn't lost it all, has he?
He hasn't lost his appetite.
I tell
And
you,
I
no.
thought myself, does he think he's on his granny's yard?
Proper northeast, isn't that? Because I mean, the times that people go to hospital, and I'm lucky I haven't been that much, but the times you're there, the one thing that you wish you can change is
the food.
Get us a takeaway, bring in a pizza, get us a sandwich from the shop. Anything you could do anything for a nice stotty and a bit of peace pudding. Come on, he knows.
That's what he had with
you
his dinner as well. He was just laughing though, and I thought myself, it's home from home, bless him.
He is worshipped at Greg's like the rest of us. That's tremendous. I know.
But, it's just to keep you in the picture, though. That
well, just stay strong and give me love when you can. If he can't remember somebody as delicious as you, he's probably well forgotten about me. But give me love anyway.
I took a picture in. I took a picture of the both of us, so you wouldn't forget.
That's great. That's tremendous.
You know, and it's like I say,
it's hard.
Just the little things at the moment, but sometimes the little things can get bigger.
Nah, absolutely. Hey, but let's get the liquid off his lungs first, because he's not going to cope without that. Once that's been removed, hopefully he can start just getting well, and hopefully then he's gets off the medication and his head will suddenly come back to the place it was built for, and that's his fellow bookend.
Wait, I've been watching you on the adverts, and Annika Rice hasn't got a look in when you start running.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks for calling, Debbie.
I was just thinking, you know, like, because Kenny's going, it's white, it's over there, it's over there, and you're going, where? I couldn't see no white.
No.
It was the white gown.
Yes, absolutely. We saw something. I don't know what it was, but it
did
look
weird, though. And then you just flew, and I thought, Annika Rice hasn't got a look in here.
See, I tell you, just hold me back, Debbie. Hey, but Debbie, stay strong. Lots of love, and try and make sure you get some sleep tonight. I know it's unlikely, but do your best to get your head down, because you'll be in a much better place tomorrow to keep a check on.
Right,
all right.
I've took my medication. I've just got to wait for it to kick in.
All right. I'll try and be boring for the last 50 minutes of the show.
No different.
Thanks again, Debbie.
Right. Love you. Bye.
Love you too. Bye-bye. There you go. There's Debbie. A man needs a bit of positive thought. So if you can spare a little bit, spare a thought, if you're religious, a prayer, but just send a little bit of love and energy in his direction and hope that he gets through it all right. Big thanks to Timbo, who is one of the few that has already got tonight's Who's It sorted out. Got to wait a bit longer, DJ Banger, to be able to call in. And make sure you call in, because if you tell me, you'll not win. And we need a phone number so we can put you in the machine so you can be digitally dialed, win one of our things. Drinky things. Right, off to George. He's up that mountain in concert. Hi, George.
Hi, Al. How are you doing?
I'm all right. How are you?
Well, I'm still struggling with the EHS, whatever you want to call it. It's pretty bad. I'm now a little detached. It's a bit better and easier than it was, but it's still hard, Alan.
No, absolutely. I mean, you've got to remember that you're in a world that has more and more energy flying around in all directions, so you're gonna struggle wherever you are, Reed.
Tell us about it, right? Debbie's just great, isn't she? I hope a man's out soon.
Yeah, me too.
And good luck with your Stan, his new venture.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah.
Aye, he's a good lad.
Yeah.
Alan, I'm getting the ESUK magazine this month here, and there's a good article in it's by Later Way, whoever Later Way are.
Right.
And it's a 47-page article, but there's 4 pages of it in this magazine. It's well worth a look at.
Right.
There's local councils up and down the country actually changing the bulbs to the old style orange. What were the phosphor lightings? You know, the lighting, the old style.
I remember it. I don't know how they made that light, if you know what I mean. But
I don't know either, but they've changed them for people with the conditions, so there's hope, you know.
Yeah,
so I will be getting it. I'll be getting photocopies and getting onto the local council up here.
Yeah, ask the question, man.
I've got a little wee poem for you here.
All right.
And it's about me. He's my great uncle. Aye.
Right.
Been dead for donkeys years. Uncle Charlie.
Okay.
When Uncle Charlie went to war, he couldn't read nor write, which put Aunt Bella, his dear wife, in a sorry plight. Just how they passed her mania one in the days gone by, no one on earth will ever know. He only had one eye. Aunt Bella solved the problem, wrote letters by the score, gave to him to take away when Charlie went to war. It's just a little wee something my mother wrote, crikey, back in the 60s, I think.
Wow.
But it's a true story, though. It makes you think, doesn't it?
Just also shows you how desperate for men they were that they'd even take somebody with one eye. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Especially when Donald Trump got out of serving because he had flat feet, for heaven's sake.
Oh, Donald Trump,
I
wish an elephant would flatten him. Good and proper. The lady who was on with the autistic child about a bed.
Yes.
I'm going to recommend this book that she really needs to have a good look at. It's very good, actually, Alan.
Right.
Because there's a couple of pages in the book that talks about the rise in the EMFs, electromagnetic fields, being a major cause in causing autism. And what they recommend is a low EMF bedroom at night time.
Right.
And all the gadgets turned off. But this book is fabulous. I mean, I've changed a lot of things in my house according to this book, and I do feel better for it. It's called The Non-Tinfoil Guide to EMFs.
Right.
And it's by Nicholas P. Knowles. I'm probably not pronouncing it right, Alan. Pineault.
Right.
And then in small writing, how to fix our stupid use of technology.
Right.
Because it is getting out of hand. I mean, our country, Alan, is like 10 times stronger than Russia and China. The voltage per meter, it's something like 61 volts per meter now, and Russia and China are like 10.
Right.
So it's scary. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's just population control or what, but it's causing a lot of illness, Alan. Simple as that.
We've heard you, man. Awful.
And just a quick little funny for you, Alan.
Great. Do it.
Changing lyrics for words, for songs.
Yes, please.
I was out with a beautiful girl in Tossa de Mar, and I know David's listening, the little bugger. And him and my daughter were having a nice meal, having a glass of wine with a salad. And they decide to sing to me and this girl. And if you're listening, Flower, she's a Dubliner.
Right.
Deidre McElligott.
Oh.
Lovely she was.
Yeah.
And the song, the Marty Pello in duet, I feel it on my finger. I feel it up my nose. I pick it and I flick it to see how far it goes. I didn't know where to look at first, but she took it well, and I had a good laugh. And so it was a canny afternoon.
Brilliant. Hey, great to hear from you, George. Thank you very much.
Good luck for the future, Alan. Take care now.
Appreciate it. Bye-bye. There is George Moodenman, and he's always had trouble. Electrical energy is all around us. It's affected a few really severely as well, and he was at the forefront of all of that. 0191 488 3188. I think it's early enough. Chris, do you have any idea what the answer is? Of course he doesn't. Right. Which just shows how clever you are if you've got it right. First clue, when it's just about to hail. What song title does that make you think of? Second clue, if you're a fan of Mick Jagger or anybody else in that band, you do this. Okay. Third clue, a very strong wind or a fabulous British fighter plane from World War II. Yeah, not the Spitfire, the other one. And the fourth clue, this is long but easy. Okay. And the fourth clue is, if we get to the opposite of hell, you do this due to the lack of a doorbell. Okay? Chris, you've got to get this one, surely. If we get to the opposite of hell, what's the opposite of hell? You do this due to the lack of a doorbell. If there's not a doorbell, what do? That's a song. 4 clues. Whose hits? You can call Chris now. You got it yet? He has got it. I bet you've only got it because somebody's rang in with the answer. Anyway, 0191 488 3188. 0191 488 3188. Or you can WhatsApp us 07863 431 837. He's come up with somebody that did do a version of that last song, but it's not this. No, I'm going to have to, if you're watching, read my lips because it's the answer. I've got to press a button to switch my mic off and then tell him. There you go. Now he suggested Old Slow Hand, and he did do a version of that last song. 0191 488 3188. 4 clues. You've got them. Who had hits with those tunes? Come on. And you should be able to do that. Chris is next in County Durham. Hi, Chris.
Hi, Alan. You all right?
Yes, I'm good, mate. Thank you for calling. What can we do for you?
Yeah, so I apologise for my voice. My voice is gone, when you talk too much.
Oh, that's all right.
My
It's
voice
good.
is gone, so,
It's husky, man. There's
anyway.
women swooning all over that voice.
Anyway, I've got some fascinating facts for you again. I did it the last few weeks. And
Yes, please.
It went down well, so
Yeah, that's
here we
awesome.
go. The first one is the moon has earthquakes.
Whoa.
Well, they're not called earthquakes, actually. They're called moonquakes.
Moonquakes, yeah.
The moon has moonquakes. Not really sure all the background on that because it's so far out there. I haven't really had time to research it much.
All right.
But the next one is the heads on Easter Island have bodies.
Yeah. Right the way down there. They don't dig them up. It's weird. Yeah.
They must have landed that fast from space that they went right down into the earth. I don't know.
I don't know whether that's true. I've heard that story.
Yeah.
I don't know whether it's true, but it's fascinating. Right.
Yeah. The world's smallest reptile
Right.
was first reported in 2021.
Oh, what was that then?
It's like a little creature. There's a picture of someone with it on the end of his finger. It's like a tiny little reptile thing. I don't know.
Well, thanks for pointing it out. Next time we see
I'm
a little
just getting these
finger-sized
facts
reptile.
I'm just getting them from the internet, and I'm
that's all right.
a little bit to make
I
sure that
understand.
they're legit.
We've got to Google that one, lads. Right, lasses, right?
Yeah, Google them if you want. That'll be great.
Yeah,
If anyone,
brilliant. I want a picture of that reptile, if anybody knows, the one that's on his finger from 2021. Right, okay.
I should be able to send you that one actually because I've got it saved.
Oh, okay. Champion.
Anyway, the next one is hair and nails grow faster during pregnancy.
Right, okay.
Nothing much to say on that one, but the next one is the world. Sorry, I'll start out here. The world wastes about 1 billion metric tons of food each year.
Right, that's shocking, isn't it? Will people
Not
starve?
tons, tons.
Yeah.
Sorry, the world wastes about 1 billion metric tons of food each year.
Yeah, crazy.
Next one, the new car smell is the scent of dozens of chemicals.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, it's like when you got the swimmer baths and you walk through that pool to clean your feet, and then you got in and it smells like chlorine.
Chlorine,
everywhere.
absolutely. It is chlorine, nasty damn thing. It is, yeah.
I have heard actually that it's not actually chlorine that way, as well as people's sweat.
Is it? Oh, that's
that
makes you feel
salt
even
in
better.
there.
Yeah, horrible.
Yeah, I don't know. It's chemical stuff. I don't know about that.
The thing I've never
Hey,
understood
so
about swimming pools, though, Chris, is have you ever been in a swimming bath and there's some blokes that kind of get changed behind towels? Fair enough, but other ones just have it all hanging out and they're going to dry it with a towel and you're thinking, oh, don't want to see that. Yeah.
I've ever been in a sauna, and we were all just, me and the lads were sat there, we were playing football, sat out like the least we could do without being like this is terrible. And the door opened, so this guy just walked in with nothing on. And we just looked at each other like, oh, really correct. But fair enough, if he wasn't there, that's no business of mine.
Yeah,
we shouldn't have looked, really.
It was funny because I was with a friend working in Germany, and there was a sauna there, and I personally don't like saunas, so I just went in the pool and had a bob because I can't swim, but I had a bob around in the pool, very nice, and he went into the sauna and he came running out after about 2 or 3 minutes because in Germany they're mixed. There's men and women in them. And he went into the sauna, sat down. 2 minutes later, about 4 or 5 women came in of various dimensions and sat all up around him. And he panicked. he just like it. He presumed he must have been in the women's instead of the men's, but they're mixed over there, apparently.
Yeah.
Strange,
I
but
mean,
true.
I don't know. It's been a pretty paranoid person to just run out of there.
I don't know
maybe you watched that film Hostel.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Maybe you watched Hostel 1 and 2 before you went out.
Absolutely, 100%.
Anyway, I've got one more.
Come on, then.
This is the best one. I saved the best for last.
Good lad.
The first person convicted of speeding was going 8 miles per hour.
Wow, fantastic. Hey, top job. Thank you, Chris. Good to hear from you.
I wrote a bit down about this one as well.
Oh, go on then. Well, tell us a bit of history.
According to the Guinness World Records, the first person to be charged with speeding was Walter Arnold of the English village of Paddock Wood, Kent.
Wow. On
January the 28th, 1896, Arnold was spotted going 4 times the speed limit in his 19th century Benz.
Wow.
But since the speed limit at the time was just 2 miles per hour, that meant he was not going too fast by today's standards.
No, he certainly wasn't.
Yeah.
Can you imagine how long it would take you to get anywhere driving at 2 miles an hour?
I know, this is good though. The next bit. The constable had to chase him down on his bicycle, issuing a ticket for £4 7s and earning Arnold the speedy distinction for more trivia to impress.
Fantastic. Hey.
Yeah, there you go. Man.
Great ending. Thank you, Chris.
Right, cheers. See you, man.
Bye-bye. There you go. Stupid joke that just came to my head during that. What did the policeman's son say when his mum asked if he wanted, who wanted more pudding? And the policeman's son replied, me, ma, me, ma, me, ma. Anyway, let's crack on. 0191 488 3188. That's why I don't do jokes. And we are 4 clues in. I shall reiterate them for you in about 5 minutes' time. But in the meantime, Jimmy's lurking, and he's from Benwell. Hi, Jimmy.
Hi there, Alan.
Hello.
Alan.
Yes.
Alan, listen.
Yeah. What?
I think you were a lovely human being. I sort of grew up with you in a way because I'm like 59 now. And Alan, I don't mean to be sort of nasty when I say that.
Right.
Are you older than me?
Yes. Oh, by several hundred years.
Yeah, Alan, not like 100, but Alan, listen, right? I did grow up with you with my head on my pillow when I used to go to sleep all the time and listen to Night Owls on the Mirror Radio, you know.
Yeah.
Alan, listen, I know the things in between and the things what you did. Unfortunately for you, some things didn't really turn out right on the things you put your money into. But Alan, listen, a lot of people, including myself, love you, you know?
Well, thank you.
Because, Alan, because maybe you're just a lovely human man and maybe love people in the way you talk to people because you really got a clever way in talking to people, especially old people, you know, and which I respect. Alan, you come from Benwell, which I'd never acquainted myself with, because I come from Elsick, Alan.
All
you
right.
know, along the road, and blah, blah, blah. Alan, you are a very unusual type of guy in my eyes. Alan, please don't cut me off very early, because I need to have a really man-on-man conversation with you.
Go on.
But unfortunately, hang on there. Alan, which way could we have a man-to-man conversation about reality?
Well, just
Alan?
tell me what you feel, man.
I don't know that, Alan. Maybe I grew up in Noble Street, and maybe, Alan, I think you grew up as well, but I don't think you really grew up in Benwell. I think you're part of the Noble Street community and things.
No, I was up in Hugh Gardens, just next to Adelaide Terrace, is where I grew up.
I know exactly where you are.
Right.
Adelaide Terrace. I mean, come on. Who doesn't know Adelaide Terrace in Benwell?
That's
But,
where I
Alan,
lived.
yeah. Alan, times were, today in this day and age, like, everything's internet.
Yes.
And, like, it's hard to get along in social media when you sort of past it, Alan, like you and I. But unfortunately, I'm not past it yet, because I'm on YouTube, and my name is Jimmy Rizzo.
Oh, right, I see.
That's not like an advertisement, Alan.
That's all right. Don't mind.
And Alan, what a guy you are. Grew up with you. I grew up with Jim. By the way, Alan, I won't say that nasty word when I say James Will.
That's all right.
And James Will try to pretend that he went on Metro Radio before you, which I think is a pile of you-know-what-y.
No, he was. He did a couple of years. He did, I think, 3 years. He did.
Listen, but you were a Geordie. You're from Benwell.
I am.
James Will was never a Geordie, and he was never from the Northeast, and that's why he failed.
Well, bless you.
Alan Robson, who I'm talking over there now, was part of the Northeast. He's part of the people, and this is why the people loved him. Oh, you know why? Because he's part of the community.
Right.
And Alan, listen, time goes on. So yeah, 2022 now. I used to listen to your show in the a long time ago, in the beginning of the 80s. Even it could go as far back as 1979. I really don't know that, Alan.
Right.
Maybe disco era. And I can't have you with Von Element and all that lovely, lovely music there, Alan. But, Alan, what I'm trying to say to you is, like, life moves on, the year 2022.
Absolutely.
You are admins there now, and letting people on your show come, And Alan, I can put a face to your name there now because I can see you,
Right.
Unfortunately, back in the day, people couldn't see one stream when radio was around. And real radio, all we had to listen to was a person's voice.
Mm.
And Aaron, I mean, you give comfort to a lot of people over there.
Mm.
On voice, Alan, and what you did, and I'm not trying to blow you on trumpet, Alan, and I know, like, I want a few beers and things, but Alan, you really did give comfort out to a lot of people.
Right, that is absolutely true. Got to leave it there, though, Jimmy. Thank you very much, and catch you again. Probably two cans less would probably do it. Thank you very much. 0191 488 3188. Time for a bit of music. Oh, and we picked a good one. But first, we always talk to the stars. The stars come out at night. You lot come out at night for me, and I appreciate it. Duran also popped out. Mind you, you're partially responsible for pretty much a fight every 4 hours every Friday night, because the whole new romantic movement suddenly created somebody for punks to fight with or somebody for rockers to fight with. You created your own tribe, didn't you?
I get it. We never had any problems actually with the punks. It was with the skinheads. I remember was the major problem. But it's always been tribal, hasn't it?
Yeah,
you know, England's always been so tribal. You've always had Teds, you've had the rockers, you've had the mods, you've had the suede heads, you've had the new romance. You know, it's always been part of the scenery, hasn't it? Really, but I think it really created a very fertile ground for, you know, all the the best bands in the world came from all these tribes, didn't they?
No, for sure.
And we don't really have that anymore, do we? I think everything's become kind of a bit homogenized.
Call Alan Robson's Night Owls now.
0191 488 3188.
This is real life conversation with the voice of the North.
Greatest Hits Radio.
Alan Robson with you, Greatest Hits Radio Northeast. And a lot of you trying to get on, so let's be zippy and nip across to Stephen, who's in Durham. Hello, Stephen.
Hello, Alan.
Hello, mate. How are you?
All right.
Good. That's good.
So, I'm sorry you're finishing. I mean, have you ever thought about doing hospital radio? Because even Peter Hetherington started off on Radio Lollipop, didn't he? Who did the memory program? That's right.
He did, absolutely. I think he went to Durham after that, right? Right.
Yes.
Okay.
So, songs,
Yes.
Because somebody who's got an irritating partner, you're unbelievable.
Yes, that's very good. Well done.
Yes, and just another day without you when I can't find Sarah's address.
Yes. That fits well. Well done.
And why your energy bills are too high?
Yes.
It's because of privatisation. In the first place, when Margaret Thatcher privatised both the gas and electricity,
right.
That led to the 7 energy companies what we've got now, and then they're always trying to get you to switch. Every time you go out to the shop and say, "Excuse me, who does your gas and electricity?"
Right.
Yes, we do. Yes. Electric. And the other thing is when Kenneth Clark put VAT on heating bills.
Yes.
As well, I said to free.
Absolutely.
They both need to be renationalised, and VAT needs to be abolished. I mean, Keir Starmer's is offering a windfall tax.
Yes.
That will certainly help, but it'll only go some of the way. It's only scratching the surface.
Right.
Really.
Right.
So,
right.
And,
Okay.
my horse came second yesterday. Any second now.
So did you have it each way, or were you just on it to win?
Yes, I backed it each way. So that's £3 for that, and £11 if it won. Yeah.
Hey, that's a result. I got over 3 times your money. That's great. Well done.
Yes, that's right. And Waddy the Street was given a load of tea bags last week for Time to Change, PD Tips.
All right.
And I got rid of the old box and, what's the name? Put them in the bag for me, in the Sainsbury's bag,
That's nice.
They had an ovary, but there were too many for me. So I took them to Lancaster Community Centre instead for the Ukraine appeal. I think they're going to be sent to Ukraine.
All right, yes. That's good news, and so you're helping. That's tremendous, Stephen.
Yes, that's right. There's no way they're doing incredibly well up to now, but there's no way Ukraine will win the war if they don't get given planes to fight with in the sky. Really. And data sets going up. The windfall free. That's one thing.
Fantastic.
Well done, Trevor. We know that Newcastle stayed up, and Middlesbrough. I know they're talking about them since they lost again. I think it's Steve Gibson that's ruining the club. He's appointed all these stupid managers. There's 1 or 2 Borough fans already complaining about Chris Wilder now.
That's a shame. I think he's a good manager. I think he'll turn them around. He has done in the past. Anything else then, Stephen?
And this is a Sunday night.
Good.
3 weeks to go, and then we're only going to be left with Stephen Petty, who is hardly a phone-in show. It only goes up to midnight, and he spends more time playing music, and asking these daft questions. And in order to hear James Whale, you've got to listen on talk radio, but he's got cancer. He's not on very much now.
Right, okay. Hey, well, thank you very much, Stephen. And good to hear from you. 0191 488 3188. Talk show is an endangered species these days. John also says, Alan, John in Eston, you went to Durham too. Absolutely did. And we did a grizzly trail of Durham. We certainly want to do another one on our ghost thing as well. First chance we get. Love Durham. Any excuse to be there. We did Jimmy Allen's, you'll remember, Under the Bridge. And if anybody fancies that, YouTube, Facebook, you can check us out. We are, the ghost hunt we did there is online for you if you want to download it and have a watch. Why not? But we'll be back to Durham soon again. And any excuse to get to Durham, and we will be there. 0191 488 3188. Let's talk to Mark. He's in Gateshead. Hi, Mark.
They're going to fund my bankruptcy.
Hello, Mark.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, they're having a nice little chat. Only not to me. So we'll talk to James instead, who's in Wolverhampton. Hello, James.
Hello, Alan. How are we doing?
I'm all right. I'm glad you're talking to me anyway, which makes me feel better.
Why is nobody else talking to you?
Well, the last one didn't, but you do, so that's happy days. What you got for me then, James?
Well, just to let you know, just to let you and the viewers know, I had a bit of a funny turn about a week ago.
Oh, what happened?
Well, I went unconscious.
What? You just collapsed in the street, passed out in the house? What happened?
No, I passed out in the house. I got up.
Right.
Went bedroom drawers.
Yeah.
Well, the drawers in my bedroom. Got something out. Got up. Hit the floor on my knees.
Right.
And I was down there for an hour. I was down on the floor for an hour.
Was anybody else in the house?
Yeah, there was somebody else in the house, but I called out and I said, "Could you go and get somebody?" And they said, "Do it yourself."
Oh, Charlie.
And I was there for an hour. I was down on my knees for an hour.
So what was it? What caused that?
I've got no idea, Alan. I've been to the doctors and they've done tests, but they haven't come back with any inclusive things. But I was down on the floor for an hour and I came round, managed to get on the bed because I was trying to get back on the bed.
Yeah.
It took me an hour to get back up. I actually fell asleep on the bed. Somebody actually came into me an hour later. I was virtually unconscious. I had my blood sugars done, and they were sort of 1.1 blood sugars were, which means that I was having a hypo.
Oh, blame me, right?
But I've struggled. I mean, I've actually injured my side as well. But so I've got a doctor's appointment. I'm going to book myself a doctor's appointment tomorrow just to see what it is, and also grazed my knees as well.
Crazy. Hypos are nasty things. Are you taking insulin? I mean, what are you doing?
Yes, I'm taking insulin. I've been taking insulin for the last 51 years.
Right. Oh, hell's bells. So how come you had a hypo though? Because normally if you've been looking after yourself for that length of time, you can tell. You get the little shudder to let you know that something's coming. Did you not get any warning at all?
No, I get no warning at all, Alan. No warning whatsoever.
Sounds like you might need a little bit more medication or a little bit more work from a diabetes specialist, perhaps.
Yes.
Right.
But what I think is happening, I'm having too much insulin.
All right. I mean, you can get those gadgets now to stop you having to prick yourself. Have you got one of them?
No, but they cost over £1,000.
Do they? Oh my goodness! I didn't realise they were that expensive. Wow! How are people expected to afford one of those?
I've got no idea, and they're not on the NHS at the minute either.
Right. Well, that makes it doubly difficult.
Yes.
Very scary. So, are you feeling better now? I mean, are you back to it, or?
Yeah, I'm back to it, but it's just my side. I usually sleep on my left hand side, but I can only sleep on my back at the minute, and I don't sleep very well on my back anyway.
No, it's awkward. And I think you are also prone inadvertently, not because you want to do it, but your body tries to contort you, and if you've got back problems, you're that wakes you straight up, and then you really can't sleep because you
No,
start thinking about it. And
yeah, I mean, I've suffered from back problems for years when I was up in the northeast because I actually fell off a windowsill where I was living. Somebody was holding me while I was shutting the window because I was going to have a bath.
right.
Next, I turned around. Next thing I know, I hit the floor and I've actually damaged my back as well.
Hell's pay. You got your hands full, man.
Yeah.
I mean, diabetes is in insulin. It's a hell of a road. I mean, where do you inject?
I inject in my stomach, Alan.
Right. And you vary it from side to side.
Yes.
What a clot that is, though. Awful.
Yeah, but when I first got it, I got diagnosed with a chest infection, and it wasn't a chest infection at all. It was diabetes.
Right. Oh,
And my mum and dad got told, because my mum and dad took me up to hospital,
right.
and they actually got told that I wouldn't live to see the morning.
Well, you proved them wrong, man. Proved them wrong.
I have.
Hey, well, good to hear from you, James. Stay well. Fingers crossed when they check all the tests, they might be able to come back with something helpful to you.
Yeah. Any chance that I could have a photo of your album?
Yeah.
Alan, please. Could I have a CD as well, please?
Well, we don't dish out CDs, sadly. We don't have them anymore, but I'll certainly get that photo nailed for you, James. Stay on the line. Chris will pick up any second. Job done. Thank you for ringing in. 4 clues, all hits by a particular person. Some of them have been recorded by other artists. I think all but one of them have. First clue, when it's just about to hail. Second clue, if you're a fan of Mick Jagger or any other member of the band, you do this. Third clue, a very strong wind or a fabulous British fighter plane of World War II. And the fourth clue, if we get to the opposite of hell, you do this due to the lack of a doorbell. Got any idea? If so, pick up your telephone and give us a call. Last chance for tonight's prize. Let's do it.